Hey, what is up? It's Not a Newbie, back again with yet another stream. How is it going, y'all? Oh my goodness. The contrast on this thing got absolutely crushed. Hold on. Or no, not the contrast, the saturation. Let's crank that up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, no, my... Yo, I've been trying to upgrade this setup. So I needed to, I think I told you guys before, I needed to buy a more powerful PSU. I actually bought the more powerful PSU, but because of how Optiplex sets up their like 9020 desktops, the power basically port, if you will, on the motherboard is proprietary. So you can't just use like your standard 24 or even 8 pin. I think it's ATX is what most people usually use. Had to use something different. So I have an adapter on my Amazon card, and hopefully I'll be able to use the 24 pin ATX to Dell, whatever this is, the Dell 8 pin power port for the monitor, for the motherboard. And hold on, let me do this here. And yeah, hopefully with that, I'll be able to have the more powerful PSU working on this thing. At least I hope to be able to do that. Now let's see, how are you guys doing? I know for some of you guys, especially those of you who are really looking forward to this stream, you might end up being a little bit disappointed because... Shoot, hold on. There we go. Okay, you might be a little bit disappointed because I was going to cover... Shoot, what was I going to cover? Oh, yeah. Gavin McInnes was on... No, not Gavin McInnes. Kanye West was on Gavin McInnes' show. So Gavin McInnes has a show on his website that he runs called Censored.tv. And unfortunately, it's locked. It's all locked up. You're not letting... anyone watch the whole thing without getting copy struck or whatever. Now I do have the stream in my Discord, the link to it, and I did it because I was gonna react to it, but I'm not going to react to it. Even though I put it in the chat, because this came up. So this is breaking news from like an hour ago. Apparently Hasanabi was actually planning on reacting to this as well, but he ended up getting struck. And look, I think Hassan Piker has done a fair bit of content stealing and whatever from various content creators, but I think this is not the case. This is not a case of that happening at all, because usually. Hassan has been accused many times of stealing content by just like letting it play or whatever. And I haven't seen any clips of this, but I highly doubt that's what happened, just because Hassan is very intense when it comes to Kanye West and political stuff. Anyone on the right, he'll just like bash. And so Kanye West being as far right as he is, Hassan's gonna bash him as much as he can. So I had assumed that he was just doing like a good faith, well, maybe not good faith, but like an actual legit like react stream. But I guess for whatever reason, he still got the strike. So hopefully, I don't know. I think if the moment, if you can appeal it or whatever, and they can go back to the moment, maybe he'll be able to appeal and get the strike removed. Because I think that if you're doing transformative content, you really shouldn't be banned, and they should overturn these. But in a lot of cases, they don't overturn these. Let me see here.
Mr. Pizza.
Shoot.
Said in the chat.
See, I've got this thing. Hold on. I'm trying to get this thing open, but I absolutely suck at opening bottles. So. Hey, Mr. Pizza, what's up? You just missed the announcement. So, I'm not going to be reacting to the full interview of Kanye West being on censored.tv, primarily. Ow, that hurt. I hope I'm good. Okay. Primarily because of, there's apparently a copyright issue. Hasanabi also reacted to that whole thing, and that he got stricken down for that. However, there are some clips on YouTube. I'll be reacting to those clips. It's about 15 minutes in total, so it shouldn't take like forever to react to. So there's that. Also, there's another disappointment, as this came in the pipeline. So if you guys were in the Discord, you guys knew I was also planning on covering this, reacting to this. Adin Ross was planning on being
Mr. Pizza
on the
chat.
show.
So will we get to see your reaction to my latest VID and isms?
Kanye West was planning on being on Adin Ross's stream alongside Nick Fuentes. He ended up not being there. It's kind of unfortunate. It's been pushed back to tomorrow, so hopefully, hopefully that happens and we'll be able to react to that. And I'm hoping that Hassan gets unbanned, because I kind of want to see Hasanabi like go against Kanye West, because that'd be a really interesting matchup. Now, of course, we do have the news of the day, which is the Georgia race for the Senate. It's a runoff election between Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker. I think as long as the same support holds as we saw in the original election, I would expect Herschel Walker to maybe get like 51% of the vote at most. The tough thing is, I think it's going to be hard to see.
Said in the chat.
It's going to be hard to see Herschel Walker making much headway, just because he's not a great candidate. You combine being not a great candidate with being a being scandal ridden,
Mike.
And there's no way that you would expect this candidate to even. I think this candidate's going to do way better than a candidate in his position should be doing, right? You're a poor candidate, you can't really speak very well, and you're riddled with controversies, but he's still going to get a fair bit of votes. I think he's going to get at least 48% of the vote. That's just my guess. I'm going to say here, I think he's going to get 48% of the vote. I think the max he could get is maybe 51% of the vote. But the tough thing is, this is kind of his race to lose. If you removed, a lot of like the third party votes or whatever, like the runners up, Herschel Walker probably would have won with about 51% of the vote. But there's nothing that's happened that would make more people want to vote for Herschel Walker. If anything, it's just more scandal, more controversy. And yes, we see this number going up, but I'm expecting it to even out once more votes come in. I think we're at 16% votes in. Now I will be keeping an eye on this, because the polls did just now close 20 minutes ago. So that'll be interesting to see. But I'm not too invested in this one. Like, I'm a Republican, and I do want the GOP to like win a seat here, but at the same time, Herschel Walker isn't like great. It would definitely suck for the state of Georgia though if Warnock won, but at this point, the GOP picked a terrible candidate. Of everyone that we could have chosen, we picked the wrong dude. So I wouldn't be shocked if he lost. I'm kind of expecting him to win, but I wouldn't be shocked if he lost. Hey, Mike, what's up? What do you mean clickbait? Oh, that's right. The title is called "The Devil Went Down in Georgia." Well, we're watching the election here, so. But no. That's kind of a. Do you guys not know what that's a reference to? You guys have to know what that's a reference to. You guys in chat have to know what this is a reference to.
Official Mike.
This is classic.
Said in the chat.
This is like a classic here.
Official Mike Mike.
Yeah, it's a song. It's a song. Exactly.
It's a song.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. That's what it's kind of a reference to. You know, the devil went down to Georgia, but did he win though? Stay tuned to find out. Okay. Could we not have two could we not have two retirement home people running in 2024? Otherwise, they should post a debate on Comedy Central. That's a good question, but I think the
Mr.
bar
Pizza
has been lowered so
said in
far
the chat.
For
See, I listen to YTP songs, so I wouldn't know what the title references.
Oh my goodness! A man of culture, I see. Yeah, so here's the thing. We've lowered the bar for what it takes to win an election, literally to become the nominee of the most popular party. Now, of course, we're seeing that start to crack here, right? With Herschel Walker lagging behind. If you look at like general favorability of both parties, I would guess that the Republicans would be viewed more
said in the chat
more favorably
I
than
will
the
always
Democrats.
YTP the presidential debate.
Here's one thing that is really tough too, is that Republicans need, like, if you're a Democrat, it doesn't really matter if you're a great candidate. Like, if you're a Democrat, it basically doesn't matter whether or not you have done a great
retirement
job
home debate of 2024.
as a politician. It doesn't matter whether or not you can speak, whether or not you're smart. It literally doesn't even matter if you're a racist, because Joe Biden won the nomination and he won the presidency. So those factors generally don't matter. What actually genuinely matters for the Democrat is making sure that your opponent is weak. Because you don't need to be a good candidate to win the Democratic nomination. You just have to be alive. Well, not always. There was a dead Democrat who won an election. But your candidate in the Republican Party has to be weak. So we saw this is literally how, at least like since I've been watching elections, right? I've been watching elections since 2008. So if we look at all of those elections, and I think Obama was one of the rare cases where you seem to have like an actually strong candidate. But beyond that, you look at what was it? I think I think Obama the first time was up against who was it? John McCain, right? John McCain, weak candidate, so he lost. You know. Then I think it was 2012, Mitt Romney, stronger candidate, I think, but still weak. He lost. Trump in 2016, strong candidate, won. Then in 2020. He's still kind of a strong candidate, but he was very polarizing, and he started to do more things that alienated more people in the right from him, so he lost. So the factor of whether or not Democratic Party, it's kind of sad actually. The major factor of whether or not a Democratic candidate wins is just how good is the opponent. If the opponent's kind of people would rather vote in a bad Democratic candidate than a bad Republican candidate, which we're seeing here, right? Like, Raphael Warnock has not really done, I don't think, like a whole lot of good for Georgia. Now I think if I remember correctly, ISM did have I think ISM had some sort of receipts. Is he the one who fixed potholes? I can't remember if he was the one who fixed potholes, but I think there's still serious issues that Georgia is dealing with that I don't know that Warnock has fixed very well. And they were very serious concerned about Warnock winning as even like when the election was taking place, because, you know, he kind of postured himself as being a very religious person, but he's also like very strongly progressive.
Said in the chat.
There's like apparently some corruption stuff that came out since in between this election, this runoff and the previous election. Some stuff came out about possible corruption, I think, or tax evasion or something like that. None of that matters. Literally none of that matters. All that matters, though, is how strong can Walker make himself seem, and can he push himself past these scandals. So that's kind of where we're at right now with that race. By the way, the votes have been constantly been updated. Herschel Walker's now up to 42%, and Raphael Warnock is down to 57%. So that's those are the latest results there. Official Mike says, I will always YTB the presidential debate.
Ism.
I mean, hey, I wouldn't be upset with that.
JB does fix our potholes.
I mean, that's good. That's good. It's very rare to find someone who will fix your potholes within 2-3 years. Because usually in a 4-year cycle, a few potholes will be fixed. That tends to happen. Official Mike said, call YTP retirement home debate of 2024. I'll take that. I mean, you guys remember like the presidential debate videos that Shmoyoho would make? Like those were cool. Those were cool. So we could see something similar there. Now, let's see here. Give me a second, because I'm pulling up some stuff. All right. Now, there are a few things that I do want to get to.
Said in the chat.
Yes.
Shmoyoho.
Mr. Pizza, I do know that in the chat earlier, you had asked if I'm going to get to some React requests. I will plan on getting to some React requests. I don't know if I'll get to all of them, but I will try and do a little Discord recap, at least as much as reasonably possible. However, I did want to take things back to this moment, okay? For any of you guys who were watching my most recent Car3 SMP stream, you probably saw a instance where something that could have started a war happened. Now, I'm not going to start a war after this, even though if I did start a war, it'd be entirely justified. I'm not going to start a war on this at all because I think, in my opinion, justice has already been dealt. Now, let's go here to this moment in my stream where the offense occurs, because I got murdered live on a Car3 SMP stream. So let's check this out. I don't know if you guys remember this moment. I'm a little bit confused as to why this happened, because it wasn't really provoked and there was no good rationale provided for this occurring. And as a matter of fact, a lot of other people got upset by this. So let's go back and rewind and see exactly what happened here.
Craze, where are you? Uh-oh, there's a creeper up top.
So
no.
this does go on for a few minutes.
The second floor.
Hey guys, we got a creeper problem.
Third floor?
Okay, yeah, here it is.
Problem?
Okay, so right there, we have, Aragon the Bold saying we have a creeper problem, right? So I go over to try and help with this creeper problem, right? You see me, I got my fire breathing sword. I got my poison arrows. I'm all equipped for battle, right? And as a matter of fact, I made sure that I brought everything I would need for battle and for mining. So I'm like, you know what? They have a creeper problem. I'm going to go help them with their creeper problem. They say they have creepers up top. Okay, I'm going to go up top and help them get rid of the creepers. This is what happens next. What are you doing, Aragon?
Torch it up, people! Why is it not torched up?
Are they just following you?
Steel. We thought we were going to move in.
Here we go. All right. Now, we see the first creeper, right? I get into the room, I see the creeper. Okay, I'm like, okay, this is the creeper that needs to die, right? Because there's a creeper problem. This needs to be fixed. So, I move forward. I take action.
Did not destroy it. Flint and steel. What?
Don't leave flint and steel for torches.
And this seems fine, right? This seems fine. No one's taking issue with me taking this action, so let's continue.
Even burn it down. No.
Now, for the first time, we see a second creeper. Now, I think it may, to be fair, maybe should have occurred to me that this was the creeper they were talking about. I mean, after all, this is the only creeper that's up top. So this is where you would have the creeper problem up top is up top. Maybe not the exact same level that everybody else is at. But they didn't really come to mind. I assumed, hey, creeper problem? Okay, I'll go kill all the creepers. Here's what happens next.
Burning this blade.
I start shooting at the creeper. Okay, that's fine.
We're
having to get to the second floor. Oh, hold on.
What's wrong with you?
I'm so dumb. We should have used the ladders. And then I tied myself. There. So I do go up, finally utilize the ladder to go kill the creeper that is up top.
My fault, I'm an arsonist.
Craze?
But then someone else goes and kills the creeper already. So that leaves only one creeper left. One creeper left to go and kill to fix the creeper problem. The one that was pointed out earlier by the other players. So I take action. The most untrue statement I've heard in a while.
Cat statue.
Oh, you found the cat statue?
Yeah, you found it. I was just showing it to him.
There we go.
Now I do feel, a little bit bad because I did miss one of those shots that I really should have made. However, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I think that's how it goes. Anyways, so I start shooting at this creeper and I kill the creeper, right? Now Bush Monkey's here. He sees what happens, and this is the fallout of me killing this creeper.
Dude, why'd you shoot the creeper?
Was I not supposed
Not
to?
newbie shot the creeper in the boxing ring.
No, the boxing ring. Wait, is it dead?
No, it's dead.
So apparently, they were all trying to keep this creeper alive. They were actually, trying to like use it as like a pet or something. Now I didn't know this, and no one had told me that this is what was happening. Now, to be fair, if I was hanging out with them in the mansion at the time when this happened, I probably would have caught on. But anyways, that's not all. People didn't just, shout at me. This happened next.
Oh, wait, was I not supposed to do that?
Guys, another one up top.
That's gunpowder. I have the gunpowder.
Guys, there's another one up top here.
Oh,
Did you guys catch that? Sorta Goodish starts just randomly shooting at me. Now, did I shoot at him? No, I didn't. All I did was kill a creeper. Which, by the way, is an enemy mob. It's not one of the mobs you're supposed to keep as pets or feed fish. This is the mob that's designed to kill you in game. So, I went and killed it, and now all of a sudden, Sorta Goodish decides that he wants to kill me.
There's another one on the top layer. I'm serious.
really get it in here though?
Why do you
I can
guys?
try.
You see him aiming his arrow at me.
Here.
It's a literal creeper.
Newbie, what have you done?
It's a creeper.
You killed him. Yeah, and it was harmless in the boxing ring.
No. I disagree with the harmless in the boxing ring thing because all you gotta do is sit next to him and he'll blow up. So not entirely harmless, but okay.
That was our new pastime.
I'm a fan of animal cruelty when it comes to creepers, okay?
Actually,
I'd watch that.
Animal cruelty for
that actually
creepers
sounds
all
really
day.
funny.
Blows up the box.
By the way, that's a statement that I still. By the way, I still stand by that statement. Animal cruelty for creepers, 100%. Kill all of the creepers. Now, you may notice in this clip that I didn't shoot back or hit him with a sword or anything like that. I, scampered away and I ate some rotten flesh so I could replenish my health bars. That doesn't sound too bad of a recourse, does it? Well, here's what happens next, and maybe you'll think later that I should have taken stronger action.
Yeah, you killed it.
So now
That's animal cruelty right there.
To shoot him?
I am putting down a cake in remembrance.
sorry, a cake is not satisfactory and you know it.
I'm just going to use one of them. I want to use my harming arrow.
Brendan's so emotionally attached to this creeper.
Yeah, let's do
We were attached to that creeper, newbie.
yeah.
Oh, the cake's gone.
I saw him do
Now, I do feel somewhat bad for this though, to be honest, because I had no idea that this was gonna happen, but everyone seemed to have such an agreement that we were not gonna kill this creeper that, maybe I should have been a little bit more aware, but I just didn't hear them say don't kill the creeper in the boxing ring. So, I feel like I can't be faulted too much for that, even though I do feel a little bit bad for it. Let's continue.
Dude,
Howard Slayer just ate the whole cake.
That cake was not enough.
Now here we go. This
That
doesn't look
cake
too
was not
bad.
memory enough. We need a statue
This doesn't look too bad, right? My health is nearly replenished, but that's not the end of the story.
in his honor.
I use it.
Man,
Cool statue.
I will never understand stand culture.
There's a wandering trader outside. He's invisible, but there's a wandering trader.
Now, here we go. I make a joke about stand culture, which people didn't really understand, which is fine. You know, that not everyone has to understand jokes. Also, how come... Okay, there we go. For some reason, when I've been switching some of these scenes, the transition doesn't hit. Anyways, now, as soon as I crack this, in my opinion, somewhat funny joke, I start getting hit again.
Trade outside.
By Sword of Goodness.
He's invisible, but there's a wandering trader.
What? Now, this is significantly worse, right? This dude hit me once, and I lost like 3 hearts. So this is a serious situation. What? Thank goodness Thank goodness his aim is worse than mine, because otherwise I would have died way earlier.
Boss blocks.
Hey, that'll work. Wait, creeper, guys, creeper.
Oh yeah. I don't have any emeralds.
So, naturally, now you guys can debate whether or not this was warranted or not. But I hit back, right? I hit back because, you know, my sword, you know, has a fire enchantment on it. So if I hit someone else with it, they'll be set on fire. That causes some pretty severe damage. So I figured, hey, if this doesn't kill him, it's gonna, you know, send a little message, right? That maybe you shouldn't be killing me for killing a hostile mob. The mob is hostile in the game. Didn't really work out. Pandemonium continued to ensue.
I don't have any emeralds.
Now, I had a totem of undying that he made me use because he wanted to kill me so badly, which I'm still a little bit salty about, because that totem of undying could have been saved for a far more serious event. Now, of course, I'm not like actually salty, by the way, for anyone who's just tuning in and things like, oh, this guy's trying to start beef. No, I'm just trying to read this. In all honesty, this is just a fun recap for anyone who's just kind of like not 100% clued in. This is just a fun recap of the stream, of the craziest moment from the stream, I think, in my opinion. I just wanted to give some commentary to it. Anyways, so Sword of Goodness forces me to use this totem that I really didn't want to use, because this totem could have been used for something way more important. Like, I don't know, getting attacked by some like wild beast while we're in caves, which we ended up exploring for the next like hour and a half or so. But no, he just decided to make me use it because I killed a creeper. Makes lots of sense. Okay. All right, let's continue.
I'll stay by this guy. Protect him. You guys.
So we fight. Now, thankfully, and this is where it's nice to have alliances, right? You know, fellow Highlander, Aragon the Bold, comes to my aid. He says, "Sword of Goodness, stop it." This wasn't enough, unfortunately, but it was nice to have his support.
Someone get emeralds. We can make a
now, at this point, he starts to corner me because he's got this crazy knockback. I wish I knew what type of knockback he had, but it was so much that I wouldn't be able to get in a blow after he hit me because he would not be back so much.
John is trying to kill Newbie.
Maybe.
But this was also cornering me, so I knew that I wouldn't be able to escape. So it's kind of like really tough, right? I'm not able to kill him. I'm not able to escape. So I was like, you know what? The fire enchantment leaves some sort of damage. Now, by the way, we also see some collateral damage. I didn't even catch that on my first watch. Sort of good sets Aragon the Bold on fire as well, I think. Because he like hits him and then he gets set on fire. Now, I'm like, the only option I have left is to switch to my sword and set Sword of Goodness on fire. But it doesn't work. The knockback is too great.
I'm actually gonna die now.
It's too great. And Sword of Goodness takes me out. Why? It didn't have to be this way. Now, you know, at this point, I could very well say, hey, Sword of Goodness, you owe me this much money, blah, blah, blah. But the fact of the matter is, I think justice already got dealt in the next 5 seconds.
How many emeralds do you need?
One to get to do a week. There
we go. someone on the server went and killed Sorta Goodish for me. Now, I'm not gonna go into the Card 3 server and be like, oh, hey, you need to, like, you know, ban him, or he owes me money. Because let's be honest, I got all my stuff back. I didn't lose that much XP. Now, if I lost more XP, I would have been upset. But I didn't lose that much XP. So, honestly, I didn't really lose anything. I just think it was really, really dumb. And I'm still kind of annoyed that Sorta Goodish made me use up my Totem of Undying. Maybe I'll sue him in court for like a Totem of Undying or something. That's the only thing I think that I lost that I didn't get back from anything. And it's not like Sorta Goodish didn't get punished because someone did go and kill him too. So that's the whole situation there. I am considering actually trying to have some sort of nominal legal proceedings for him, basically to be have him declared guilty of murder. No sentencing, because he's already been put to death. But, you know, I thought about reaching out on the Card 3 SMP and seeing if he, you know, if he can be sentenced to murder. Or, you know, not sentenced to murder, but, you know, found guilty of murder. Because I think that's fair. But that's a lot to do for something so minor. I don't know. Chat, let me know if I should try to make him stand trial for killing me. Anyways, I wanted to get through that and react to it. Sorry I've been missing a lot of your guys' chats. Hey, Lennox Joe, what's up? Good to see you in the chat, man. I like Moyo too. Space is so cool by Markiplier. I actually only liked their, like, the Songify the News and then Songify, like, certain things. Those are, like, my favorite clips of theirs. Isep says that reminds us of the IRL vlog we did have to suggest to non-newbie. Wait, what's that? Mr. Pizza says All the Way by Shmoyoho is a classic. I actually memorized that song? Wait, what? I don't think I know that song. All the Way? I don't think I don't know this. All the Way? Huh. Oh, that would explain it, because it's not on Shmoyoho's website or YouTube channel.
All the way to fucking Victory Town. All the way. Feels good to be a winner. I believe in you. I believe in you.
Oh, that's gruesome.
Glory, all the way to victory. All the way,
This is cool. This is cool, man. This is cool. I like this song.
simple challenge. I call it bullshit on that. Ground up your tea. What is all you need? Mother A-Bass. I call it bullshit on that. Mother A-Bass. Great, great Steve. Why aren't your legs magnetic? Great, great Steve. Well, that's just perfect, isn't it? Great, great Steve. I hope you die in the bottomless pit. Oh shit.
Oh wow, so I guess he really doesn't like that game. So the compressors are messing with the audio. Oh dang. Is it that bad? Hold on, wait. Are the compressors really making it sound that terrible? I do have it cranked up to like 15 on the ratio. Let me turn that down. I'm gonna turn it down to 12. Let me see. No, that's not bad. It's not a bad setting because it's the same amount of compression that I have on my voice. So I'll put that back up. Yeah, it's not gonna sound the best quality for audio.
Always causes trouble. See, you like fake tickets, don't you? That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. Shut up. You're always my favorite. I believe in you. I believe.
That's crazy. I don't know why I'm so like, I was just like glued to that gameplay. This is really well done, and it's a big reason why this is so well done is just because Shmoyoho has always had really great, like the bones of like all their songs have been made in the backbones of really great production. So even in songs that like I didn't really like that they made, they were all still well done. I just thought the melodies were basic or something, but I've always liked them. Like they've always been good. And they're also like the best songified people. Because there's only one video that I've seen. That rivals what Shmoyoho has done, which honestly I think it's better than a lot of Shmoyoho stuff, but certainly not all of them. But it's this video right here. It is. This right here is a classic. I am warning you. This is gonna get stuck in your head for a while. So spoiler alert. This is gonna get stuck in your head. You know, you have the chance to tune away if you don't want to get an annoying song stuck in your head. But here you go. Well, it's not annoying. It's very pleasant. But here you go.
I'm sick of all these witches and warlocks. Bullshit. Fucking thumbs. I'm sick of it.
You keep interrupting me.
All of it's lost because you're lying. That's why. Oh, there's Andy and oh, now we're done with Trump. Said he was the Messiah.
By the way, if you guys ever have a chance, definitely go check out the full like interview that this was. This was from the interview of Alex Jones interrupting the QAnon shaman. It was hilarious. Just hearing two semi-crazy people just like going at it. I thought it was pretty funny. Now, of course, the Q shaman I think is a lot more crazy than Alex Jones is. I don't really think that Alex Jones is particularly that crazy, but they're both conspiracy theorists. But that shaman was on another level. But anyways.
I will not suffer your Q people after this.
This whole rant was him making fun of them.
I know what you are now.
Also insinuating he's siding back again. In case you guys don't know, he's been against QAnon for a few years. He was a fan of QAnon for the first year or two, but then he knows the person who is QAnon. And that person like reached out to him and said, "Oh, hey, the account's been co-opted by like 2 or 3 other actors. I'm locked out of the account. I can no longer make my QAnon posts now." So ever since then, he's been against QAnon. That's one reason why he's so opposed to the Q Shaman. And I think a big reason why he was biased against him from the beginning was because he was, you know, a fan of QAnon, and Alex Jones is completely against QAnon at this point.
Bullshit. Pumpkin and possums. I'm sick of it.
You keep interrupting me.
All of it's lost because you're lying. That's why every goddamn thing that you people's mouths could come through. You said it was all over. You told us about you. Witches and warlocks are full of shit. Pumpkin and possums. I'm sick of it.
You keep interrupting me.
All of it's lies. Because you're lying. That's why witches and warlocks are full of shit. Pumpkin and possums. I'm sick of it.
You keep interrupting me.
All of it's lies.
I think the funniest part about this is like, just like pumpkins and possums. When possums very clearly not a word. I just thought that was pretty funny. Anyways, we have an update here. In the Georgia race, it is still too close to call. But things are narrowing down, kind of closer to where I think that we would expect the results to be. We've got Herschel Walker up to 43%, 44% as we speak, and Raphael Warnock is at 55%. So it's going to be interesting to see how things shape up throughout the night. I will be keeping an eye on that and letting you guys know, the various updates as I see them. Now, unfortunately, we weren't able to get the Andrew Tate or the Aiden Ross debate. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get the Aiden Ross debate with Kanye West and Hasanabi. Hasanabi might not be able to attend due to being banned off of Twitch for copyright infringement. Hopefully that gets cleared up tomorrow so that when they do the debate tomorrow, Hasanabi will be able to be there, because at the moment, I believe if you're banned from Twitch, you're not allowed to be on even as a guest of somebody else's stream, I think. So there's that. But we do have this. Apparently Aiden Ross, instead of doing the debate, Aiden Ross met Andrew Tate in person.
Wait, this is Tate's Bugatti? What? I'm pranking right now.
This is Tate's Bugatti? What color is that? Is that orange?
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
For all the talk about what color is your Bugatti, his Bugatti is a pretty lame and boring color. It's not bad. You know, I would actually pick a very basic color for any future car that I would buy, either black, gray, or white. But, you know, it's... You can't brag about your Bugatti colors and then roll up in something that's very tan, it looks like.
That's what I told him. That's crazy. All right, guys. See everyone later.
Actually, you know what? In better lighting, that actually might be a pretty sick orange.
You can drive it without crashing. You're gonna be trapped. Not right now. Really? Yeah, of course.
Sorry, I'm having trouble catching what he's saying. That noise in the background is... The fact that the microphone is behind the car, which is running, makes it really hard to hear what's being said.
Scream. No, that's my heart is broke.
Interesting.
That hurts more than a break, I swear to God. Look at this car, I mean, like,
that dynamic is kind of weird. I think it's weird that Andrew Tate's still like such, you know, so like buddy with that Aiden Ross is so buddy with Andrew Tate. I feel like that's kind of weird at this point, because especially since I think that there's less clout to get from hanging out with Andrew Tate. But I don't know. That's just me. Mike said Aiden Ross is weak. He lost Pimma Baby. I don't know if that makes you weak. You know, are you saying that like they're no longer like in a relationship? I think that like no longer being in a relationship, like going through a breakup, does not make you weak necessarily. It could be indications of weakness or like things that like you need to grow. So like the whole XQC situation with him breaking up with Nixie essentially because his ex told him to. Very toxic situation, but XQC did make the decision. He has to blame himself for that, so he really needs to distance himself from he needs to distance himself from her and kind of get himself in a good mindset again. But that's a whole nother situation, a whole can of worms I really don't want to get into on stream. Mike said Andrew Tate called him out on it. No, Andrew Tate called him out on it. Called him out on what? What is... Can you send it to me? I don't know. Wait, Andrew Tate called him out on Pimma Baby? Now, honestly, there's probably tons of backstory that I just don't get. Oh! Wait. Is this it? No, this ain't it. Maybe this is it. Is this what you're talking about here?
You haven't done anything of note since I've seen you.
Yeah. Me and my girlfriend broke up.
Why did you and your girlfriend break up?
Okay, so hear this, right? We broke up. I just feel like it was more of an outgrown type of thing. We both wanted different things. I'm not gonna lie, you know, we broke up. And then she made an OnlyFans yesterday.
Usually, I say take the L and move on. I would say, Andrew Tate, take the W and move on, man. take the W. Dude put himself in a better position then. You know, if I was him, I'd be like, whoo, dodge the bullet there. Like, that would be me if I was him. Oh, goodness. Oh, well, it'd be interesting to see what Andrew Tate has to say. Let's see how Andrew Tate can belittle him because he has to put others down and make himself feel good.
You wanted different things.
Sorry, that was cynical, but maybe accurate.
She made an OnlyFans yesterday.
You wanted different things.
Yeah.
What did you want then? What did you want that she didn't want?
Me, I just wanted to kind of like seclude myself, and I wanted to find myself because I'm lost, and I wanted to find myself, and I feel like I wanted to find myself.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Maybe he can't find the answer to that until he finds himself. But man, at this point, I'm lost, and I'm not even looking for him. What?
So you agree with me? You are lost. You're a lost soul.
100%, yes.
I want you to donate a significant portion of money, a significant amount of money to charity right now.
Okay, how much and what charity?
About $100,000.
Andrew, let me explain.
Everyone is watching you, Aiden. You waste your life. We've just discussed how you do nothing but hedonistic garbage. Your entire life's a. You have all this opportunity at your young age, and you're sitting around doing nothing with it. But you're going to donate $100,000. You're going to donate $100,000 to an animal shelter because puppies deserve it.
Okay, so there we go. Andrew Tate is at least a month ago was he and Maya Higa. No. But in all seriousness, I get what he's saying. I don't think giving him the ultimatum of just blowing $100,000 because he wasn't doing anything productive with it I don't think that's a good move or makes sense. But I get the principle behind it. Oh shoot, I gotta go back.
That's actually really sweet.
Hold on, wait.
You're going to donate $100,000 to an animal shelter because puppies deserve it. Right now.
That's actually really sweet. What if
I'm waiting?
Okay, I don't know the legit one. Like, what if they just like steal my money and shit and they don't do anything about the ball?
Oh no, let's hope they don't steal your money. Let's hope they're more honorable than the drug dealers you fund.
I don't do drugs, bro. I don't do drugs.
You do drugs, don't lie.
No, the only thing I do is drink alcohol. That's it, okay?
You live in LA. If you live in LA, you're a fucking drug head like everybody else.
No.
That place is godless. It's a cesspit. It's disgusting. Every single female's fucking twerking on some perk bullshit or taking Adderall or Valium so she can calm down for the amount of cock she's been through. It's a fucking shithole. There's nobody of any kind of moral substance or fiber in the entire city. You should leave immediately.
I like how he's like... It's funny because like the generalization that he's doing is completely wrong. But there is a certain type of person who he's like 100% right about, and it's hilarious. Very sad, but hilarious.
You know this, but that's why it attracted you. It attracted you because you want the degeneracy, because you're a degenerate person. You are donating $100,000 to a fucking animal charity today.
Fine.
So pick one.
Now,
I've had enough.
That's interesting. That's an interesting point that he points out there. Basically, it kind of says that, hey, you chose to be with this type of person because it's something about who you are, what kind of person you are. That's interesting, and that makes that makes sense. Also, is that an IKEA logo on the rug? That looks a lot like an IKEA logo. Anyways,
enough with your shit, Aiden.
Okay. Where have you been, dude? Like, seriously, where the fuck have you been? Why did the internet do that to you? It's not even fair, bro.
Redirection.
It's not.
Smart.
It's a pretty good attempt to change subject.
I'll see you on Instagram.
Finally, me and Andrew Tate agree on something.
It's not on TikTok anymore. Why'd they do that to you?
I'm all over TikTok. It's still TikTok.
Okay, yes, but not as much as I used to see you. Like, what happened, dude?
I'm gonna allow you to change subject. I want everyone to know that you don't fool me or trick me.
Okay.
I'm gonna allow him.
Thank you.
Just
Thank
as long as the internet knows that you're a stingy fuck and you
Yo, the whole chat is saying call XQC. It's the last person you should be calling in this type of situation. He would have made this endless 1,000 times worse.
want puppies to die, then I'm happy to sit here and change subject with you. So you don't give a fuck about the puppies. That's fine. Aiden doesn't care. He only cares about fucking degenerate bullshit, LA slags, doing drugs, and all this other garbage. If you agree with that, then fine. Let's talk about something else.
Ooh. Wrong about the drugs. Everything else, yes.
Let's talk about something else, bro.
1 second.
Dude, what the fuck is this guy, bro? Why does he look... Bro, nobody is having L Aiden, bro. Oh god, this chat's weird as fuck. No, I literally look at you guys all differently, bro. I swear to God, you guys are being all weird, bro. Stop dick sucking, bro. I'm about to run ads all stream, and you're gonna fucking sub, bitch. Fuck you guys. You guys are being assholes, bro. Why is it daytime where he's at, too? Where the fuck is he, bro?
Why did he talk to his chat like that? I mean, I do know there are some big streamers who talk to their chat like that, but that's just like no reason. You know, to be fair, Hasanabi's worse, but...
Dude, you guys are being weird, bro.
Howdy.
I missed you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You got bigger and you got stronger.
I am very big and very strong.
Yo, is he
I'm a
back on,
very
like, his
big,
whole
very
sus
strong
thing?
man. And also
That's
a
here.
massive... thank you. You know what upsets me the most? Everyone accuses me of being... Everyone accuses me of being on steroids.
The whole queer baiting thing that he was on, when he was doing the freestyles thing, that got old quickly. I'd hate for him to go back to that.
And I'm not. And it actually annoys me that steroids exist because my monumental size and power would be respected a lot more if everyone else wasn't on fucking steroids. Everyone else is on juice besides me. I want to do every single drug test on the planet to prove that I'm gifted by God. A rabbit needs drugs to look like a tiger. When God creates a predator, he just has natural ability. You understand? I'm not Logan. I don't need to fucking juice out the moon. I'm not some dickhead.
Yo, wait, why don't you and Logan don't like each other?
Listen, his time is coming.
Yo, whoa. Yo, I hit you. I hit you. What the fuck?
That's cool.
Yo, what are you doing on your laptop? What are you doing on your laptop, bro? Some devious shit.
What's funny?
I don't know, bro.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know,
Why are you
bro.
laughing?
What are you doing on your laptop?
You're not very entertaining, so I said 1 second to get my laptop so I could also do my work, my important things while talking to you, because you're not very entertaining or engaging or smart or intelligent. You don't say anything that's very insightful. It's not very often you make me think. In fact, I can't think of a single time you said a sentence and I've had to sit and contemplate and go, wow, that's a very interesting, articulate, unique, astute point.
Aiden, nobody watches. What intellectual mind is watching Aiden Ross for unique takes and thought-provoking content and intellect and insight? Not to say that the man is dumb, but the main pillar of his content is not intellect or like insightfulness, you know, thoughtful debate. I think that the closest we ever got to that was in the whole crazy mega debates over relationships and masculinity saga, which was very fascinating, and there was some interesting content out of that. But even then, that wasn't the most thought-provoking content I've ever seen on the internet.
Never, ever once. So because I can basically talk to you while I'm asleep, I may as well do my work at the same time.
Wow, you just really shit on me. Good for
I'm
you.
just telling you the truth, young man.
Fair.
Good for you.
I don't lie to you about anything. I want the absolute best for you and for the world. I'm a man of God.
Like a lot of Twitch streamers, and this is fine because it's part of the appeal, and that's kind of the point. But a lot of Twitch streamers, you throw up their streams, they don't really say anything too insightful. They don't say anything new or unique that anyone else isn't saying. And you could literally turn on a Twitch stream, have it on in the background for 3 hours, and not really miss anything. You know, it's very rare that you see something big happen, which is why Andrew Tate going on these Twitch streams was so huge for the platform. But yeah, no, it can easily be background noise. It's not really designed to make you think a whole lot. It's entertainment, right? And entertainment is rarely designed to make you think too hard. Now, there's some great entertainment that does make you think a lot, but that's not what most entertainment like exists for. Like, there's a reason why, like, you know, sitcoms and like, I don't know, formulaic television shows that just have the same thing happening over and over and over again do really well on television. Because it's television on autopilot. It's just like a rerun, basically, but with characters in different clothes, and the crimes have different names, you know. I really am singling out CBS, aren't I? Anyways, let's continue.
It would be disingenuous for me to sit here and pretend you're interesting, funny, or cool.
I have a question. You said call on Telegram, and then you said
he is funny.
Call, I fucking said in all caps. Why were you like screaming at me through the app?
Because you had exactly 1 minute left till I decided not to turn up anymore. I have things to do. Oh,
that's an interesting pivot. Because he kind of twisted that to make it sound like he wasn't being a tryhard, even though he totally was. He was like, call now! I want to be on your stream. Like that's kind of what I get out of what he said those text messages were.
Obey, comply instantly.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Dubai.
Oh, how's that going?
Have you ever been?
Nah, I need to go though. I need to. I really want to go.
There's no drugs in Dubai. I know. It's a shame.
I don't do drugs, bro. I swear my look at me. Look at
you live in LA. Why are you lying to me?
Steroids, bro. Stop doing that, bro.
That's funny.
Then you do steroids. You fucking steroid using fuck. You small shrink dick fuck. You can't even get hard. You erectile dysfunction. I made you laugh.
I also like how Tate here is like laughing and smiling. I think in large part because he knows that this is exactly what he would say to Adin Ross if he was in this situation. I think that's funny to him. Like,
bro,
watch his reaction here.
Then you do steroids. You fucking steroid using fuck. You small shrink dick fuck. You can't even get hard. You erectile dysfunction. I made you laugh. You missed me. What have you been up to, bro? I've really been missing you, real shit. What have you been up to?
I'm more famous than I've ever been. The cancellation is completely and utterly failed.
So in Dubai, are you getting like treated like a, I don't know, what do you call it over there? What are you doing over in Dubai? Like, are they treating you well?
I get treated well everywhere I go. But yeah, Dubai is certainly the city of the future. Dubai is not collapsing in real time like most Western cities are. So I love Dubai. I always have. I usually come here every winter, but I'm going to spend a lot more time here. So
good.
It's a great place.
Good. I'm going to fly out and we have to link. You know, be kind of fun. Finally.
You should fly out, and we should spar, train.
Yeah.
Do important things. We can film it all.
No, for sure. Okay, so
cool. There's direct flights from LA. So why don't you book a flight right now? Stop making excuses.
No, I'm not doing that. No, I have a lot of shit going on, okay? I'm going through
You're not booking a flight. You're not donating money to charity. What are you doing?
I'm going through a breakup, bro. It's hard, bro. Stop being so hard on me. Damn, dude. You yourself even know hard.
Okay, so there are a couple things with this. First of all, you know, if Adin Ross is saying, oh, I just went through a breakup. Well, the biggest thing you should be doing is working out. That's like the number one thing that you should be doing. The second thing is, it's interesting. Adin Ross is not really giving the right answer here. He's saying that he doesn't want to fly out to Dubai because he has a lot of stuff going on, but he's actually not doing anything. So we should say, you know, I just want to lay low for a bit instead of like trying to front as if he's a businessman. I got all these papers I got to sign. I'm taking care of all this business. Like because he's not actually like doing anything apparently. At least it's what I'm gathering from this call. Now, Adin Ross could be trolling this whole call. You know, I watched the mega stream that Andrew Tate had with Adin Ross, where XQC ended up joining at a couple points, and it seemed like Adin Ross was largely trolling there too. So I don't know, but
heartbreak hurts.
Heartbreak does hurt.
Yeah,
I agree with you. Heartbreak hurts.
Okay, so come on, bear with me a little bit, bro.
How long ago did you break up?
About a month or two ago.
Why do you think she left you?
No, it was mutual.
Why do you think she left you?
Yep.
It was mutual. Listen, people outgrow each other, bro. People sometimes in life, they don't work out, and that's just how life is, bro. You got to understand and respect that. You know what I mean?
That's what girls say when they're fucking someone else.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not all the time. That's what they say when they don't want to tell you why they want to break up with you. But true though, right? You know, like. Anyway, I'm gonna stop before I start making fun of situations that are probably actually real. But yeah, it's very clear here that he's just repeating lines that he's been told by his ex there.
People outgrow each other. It's not you, it's me. You know what? You're a really good friend. I don't see.
Like Aiden Ross never says stuff like this in real life. Like, he doesn't talk like that. People just grow apart. No, he doesn't talk like that.
You that way. Once they have a new cock to gobble on, that's usually what happens. So who did she fuck? Do you know yet? Did you even find out?
No, I don't think she is fucking anyone.
It's funny.
Oh yeah, she left you to be by herself. She left you to sit at home alone and watch TV. Yeah, 100%. 100% that's why she left you, G. She left you because she just really wanted to sit at home by herself, not to run around with some other dude. You're totally right. She's a good person. She's different than all the rest. Completely agree. She ain't fucking nobody. Don't worry, you can sleep just fine at night. Maybe you should text her when you're lonely. Send her a text. She might text back this time. She's definitely not with some dude. You know all those other times she didn't reply? She was tired. She was asleep.
Yo.
Don't worry about it. This time she might text back. Miss you too. Wish we could have worked out.
Yo, he's going so savage. He's really going in. He's really going in. And there's more stuff I would speak on this, but I don't really want to delve too deep in that right now.
There's not some dude like me sitting next to her laughing at your messaging.
Yo,
Bro, you're weird as fuck.
Yo, that's fire. You know, that's a good point though. And like, imagine, you know, you break up with someone, and then you're like, oh, you know, I want to go and like reach out to the ex and be like, hi, how are you doing? How are things going? Or like, you know, are you doing okay? You know, all like and texting stuff like that. And then you're not even, imagine considering whether or not like the other person is actually with somebody else. And they're like, ha, look at this. Like, that's entirely realistic. And actually probably what's happening in a lot more cases than we would expect. And that would make your crest come crashing to the ground. If that was something that you considered. But most people don't consider that. Very interesting. I think that's one of the few like insightful and interesting points I've heard Andrew Tate make.
She made.
Yeah, so you grew apart. You grew apart. Okay, carry on with the fairy tale.
Okay,
carry on.
Then I moved to LA, and then after I moved to LA.
Show me her. Let me see if she's even hot. Show me her. Show me her. Let's see what we're talking about.
I mean, you can look her up yourself.
Also, I've been thinking about this recently. This whole thing, like, show me a picture of her. Show me if she's hot. It's like completely stupid. Very dumb. It does not make sense to me unless you're hanging out with people who like to sleep with their friends as girlfriends. So then your friend can then make a judgment as to whether or not they want to try to get your girlfriend to cheat on you with them. But other than that, like you know, oh, should we like I do kind of understand if some people want to like, you know, see if you have good judgment. But I don't know.
I mean,
I'm kind of talking on my neck, but I thought it would
on what? On social media.
Interesting. Thought there.
Joke's on you, pussy.
Oh no, I don't get to see your ex. That's absolutely devastating. Terrible. I was trying to do you a favor here because you know what? As an extremely experienced man, what I have is flawless Hodar, so I can look and instantly tell you. Not only if she's a hoe, but who she's sleeping with now, everything head to toe. It's interesting. It's interesting. I don't spend a lot of time with a lot of those types of people, so I don't really get to exercise that. But I do think I might have a little bit of a radar for that. Now that I think about it, I'm flawless. So I try and offer you my services.
Stop
and as usual,
yelling at me, dude.
You're rude. You're rude.
You're rude.
Fly to Dubai. Fly to Dubai now. We'll talk. Come here.
You want me to come to you?
Bring your ex. Maybe you can make up, get back together.
Oh yeah, that'd work.
I'll fix it. I'll mediate. Imagine the Twitch stream where I'm the mediator, I'm the marriage counselor, you and her, and I get it all fixed.
Listen,
but she will have to admit I was right that no one grew apart. She just grew into a new dick.
She made an OnlyFans yesterday.
Yeah, that's the L. Don't. That's the biggest sign of, like, not getting your back together. Like, yo, if she makes, you know, there are certain things that people say about relationships. Well, oh, if she does this, then it's over, bro. If she does this, it's over, bro. You know what the real it's over is? If she makes an OnlyFans.
She's been doing a lot more than that, G. I don't know why you're worried about a fucking website. OnlyFans. Don't have the website. Don't worry about that. She's been up to a lot fucking more. How many times she not replied to you at night? How many times she been asleep by 9 p.m.?
She's different, bro. She's different.
Yeah. She's super different.
Yeah, I mean,
bro.
I mean, you gotta be real different if you're gonna start OnlyFans.
100%. She's so different. You know your problem? What? If I split up with a girl, I sit there and understand that females don't like to downgrade. And I say, okay, she now has to meet another man with hundreds of millions of dollars who's an ex-athlete or kickboxing world champion who's strong and smart and interesting and funny and the most famous martyr of Earth for trying to crack the matrix. There's no competition. But your problem is you're so fucking normal. Yeah, you have a Twitch stream. Who gives a shit? You look like Joe Schmo. You act like Joe Schmo. You do Joe Schmo shit. So if she'll fuck a man like you, she'll fuck basically anybody. And that means that she can get a guy from KFC or Starbucks.
Not true. The thing is, Aiden Ross, here's the thing. Turns out Aiden Ross is famous. So he definitely has that in his favor. He's also rich. So he's also got that in his favor. Because look, all these manosphere people, they push this materialistic, oh, she's not gonna leave you until she finds somebody else who's hotter or richer. It's not always 100% like that. What if Aiden Ross was a terrible dude? You know, every night trying to like skin like the skin off of like the bottom of her feet, and she was like, no, I'm not having that, I'm leaving. You know, it's not like she's gonna stick around until she finds somebody hotter. like I will say that you know, most people don't like to downgrade. I think people downgrade not realizing that it's a downgrade. It happens sometimes. But he is right that no one, like, they're not gonna leave if she thinks that she's walking into like a worse situation. Because that just don't make no sense. Now, one might say that women don't make no sense either. I actually tend to somewhat disagree. But but still, I mean, the principle does somewhat apply, I think, and I think it's somewhat accurate.
Bucks or fucking some other random Twitch clown, and you can get replaced so quick. That's what your problem is. I don't have that problem. You do. So if you think you're so fucking special, Aiden, that through all these months you couldn't find some other guy in terrible shape who drinks soy lattes with enough money to afford a shitty apartment in fucking LA, then you are out of your mind. Because I guarantee she could and has, and it's done.
That's a good point. If you know, the materialistic viewpoint is that everything is about class, you see this in a lot of hyper capitalists as well. Or some people would say, I think the leftists would say like you know, late stage capitalists, whatever. But anyways, you find this a lot of hyper capitalists as well. Is that like class is everything, right? Everything is about class. You even find this in socialists and communists, right? You know, class struggle. Everything is about class. So if you're looking at this from a purely materialistic lens, right, and everything is about class, how many people are in Andrew Tate's class? Not that many. You know, I think Epstein might have been like one of the few people in his class. And this is, you know, granted, assuming that all the fronting that Andrew Tate is saying is true. And I think that Andrew Tate has less immunity in various countries than Epstein did. Andrew Tate's basically like the lightweight version of Andrew Epstein. It's like, yeah, he's the lightweight version of Epstein. There you go. Aiden Ross, there are like dozens more Aiden Rosses than there are Andrew Tates in the world. So it completely makes sense from if you're talking about a competition perspective, that like it'd be harder to find someone like Andrew Tate than it would be to find someone like Aiden Ross.
You're weird as fuck. Okay, listen, bro. Whatever.
I'm not weird. I tell you the truth.
You are, bro.
What's weird about the truth? The truth is beautiful. You must accept and embrace it. You must look in the mirror and accept that I am right. And you need to become a formidable force of man that cannot be replaced or replicated anywhere else on God's green earth. That's what you must do. You are failing yourself and God. That's why she left you, Aiden. That's why she left you.
That's why. Because I failed God.
I'm correct. You're failing God. If you were the best version of yourself and you were waking up every day trying your absolute best to be a unique and special individual, then you would not be failing God any longer and he would not plague you with this bad luck.
This is... Dude is literally spinning the prosperity gospel. This is 100% not true, right? Because here's a great example of this. Johnny Depp, right? Johnny Depp, I would argue, was probably trying to be the best version of himself, but Amber Heard was trying her best to make him be the worst version of himself. So sometimes the person that you're with is not 100% on board with you kind of growing as a person and becoming that, like, best self. So this assumes that you have to be your best self in order to be in a relationship. There are certain people who just like being with bad people, who are like, or at least people who like are not in a like a good state, and they want to constantly keep them down and like in that position. So to kind of act like, you know, if you were selling as a person, you wouldn't be single right now is not accurate.
Now you're sitting here upset over some bitch who has replaced you, and you deserve it.
So what do I do, Andrew?
I've told you what to do. I've told you what to do since we've ever started fucking talking. I told you to become a man of substance. I said, come here, and I will train you. I will turn you into an animal, a predator, a monster. Yeah. Maybe later. Soy latte, please, from Starbucks. You're a fuck up, Aiden. You're a fuck up.
Let's see here. Man, and I intentionally delved into a whole like relationship advice thing, which I didn't really want to get into here. Here's what Mike said. Pammy's also famous. Yeah, she has a whole like channel, I think, like an official like YouTube channel and stuff. Mike said we don't make no sense either. Yeah, we do. Mike said, Amber Heard of the devil. No, not technically. Mike said, you don't need to be, he said, you do need to be your best self to be in a relationship. No, that's not true. That's definitely not true at all. Here we go. We've got an update on the Georgia Senate runoff election. Herschel Walker's now almost hit that 48 threshold, which I predicted would be kind of the least percentage of votes that he'd be getting tonight. I expect him to either bottom out at 48% or kind of peak at 51% of the votes. So I think we're kind of getting closer to what a reasonable expectation of what this election is going to end up being like. Like if Herschel Walker loses, I would just expect pretty much what you see here to hold. We'll see as that goes on, though. It'll be very interesting. Let's see. Man, I don't know. I don't want to delve into the relationships, dude. You really want me to go all in on this? I don't really. See, I could talk about this all day, but I also would probably only be about like maybe 50-60% right. Oh, let's see. Oh, it said like have ambitions, dreams, hobbies. I don't know. It says I respectfully disagree with you saying you don't. I think in a way you do, but not in the way you think. Interesting. I'd like to hear what you think. Do you want to pull up on a call, by the way? Do you want to pull up on a call? because you're a fascinating person, and I think that you having you on would make for, at the very least, an interesting conversation. So yeah, let me know if you want to pop in, because there I feel like both me and you two, like, there's like such a range of things that we could talk about. Hold on, wait. Don't do the DM call. Hold on, wait. Give me a sec. There's hold on. Wait. Join. Okay, so if you're not familiar with how the Discord works, the Discord, the way that we've set up the Discord, there is a, hold on, where are you? Okay, there you go. Okay, I give you the right flare. Okay, go into my Discord and join the bread line. I made this like little like line thing so that people can just like pop in and out of the Discord. I don't have to be friends with people in order to take calls. There's like a literal screening thing. Yeah, go into One Revolution on the Discord, go into Breadline, and then you'll be able to hop on. I'm already in the Breadline. Hold on, can I invite someone into the? Let's see. Oh, there we go. Oh, you're in. Okay. Oh, this is cool.
Working? Is my voice coming in clearly?
Yeah. I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see you there.
Nice. Yeah, I have the OBS set up so that it can send basically the same signal from. Oh,
that's extremely cool.
Yeah.
So in the way, what I think in terms of that relationship thing is, your best self is not the way you think. It's more like have ambitions, have hobbies. Maybe you collect Pokemon cards, have a career focus in mind. Like I plan to go into biotechnology, and I've put all my energy and focus onto school and my schooling and education.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the most important things.
Right.
And I'm at when you're in your early 20s, late teens, early 20s, that's the age where you can just push yourself hard to build up that career, because the hardest part about the career is getting into the career. Don't focus on relationships. They'll happen when they happen. But settle for yourself first before settling for another person. Try to self-sustain yourself. That's what I mean by the best self, is more like just self-sustain. Can you have the potential to live on your own, get your own car, get into that career so that you can afford a new car, or like not a fancy car, but just a normal car that can get you places, and a decent place from your parents.
Yeah.
And at the age that we are, we should be pushing for that, either by working our tail ends off to afford it, or by going into university and pushing ourselves there and getting it through that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree that those are things that we should be moving towards, but I don't think that those are like the only things that we should be like moving towards. Now, I definitely agree that like personal growth should be a high priority, and I also agree that we should focus on moving ahead career-wise where we can, and kind of positioning ourselves well to get inside of the career that we want to be in. Now, you did say that relationships will happen whenever they happen, whatever. That is a pretty bad mindset, which, I mean, you can follow that mindset if you want. A lot of people are following that mindset right now, and that's why you see people, for example, going around and just like sleeping around, participating in hookup culture while they're my age, because they're like, oh yeah, no, I can just like find a random spouse somewhere in 10 years. But like the real life doesn't really like work like that. Like there are lots of people who are like 30, 40, even 50 who have sort of done that when they're our age, and now they're single and kind of wondering, okay, well, where's the random perfect spouse that I was promised when I hit the magical age. And on top of that, to make things even worse, we're living in a post-COVID era too, which, while yes, COVID is basically irrelevant at this point, it's still a factor and the quarantine era has forever altered how people interact. And so it's I think it's even harder, at least from what I hear from various adults. I guess I'm technically an adult too. I'm 22, but from what I've heard from other adults, it is kind of difficult to get into a good dating scene, especially if you're not the type of person who goes to clubs and stuff and bars, because and you're not someone who goes to church either, just because people don't really congregate in person and hang out the way that they used to before COVID.
I do agree 100%. I'm actually one of those people who hates the hookup culture.
Mm-hmm.
It was just one of the things. It's like my dad's like, you can get into those things, but make sure it's meaningful. And I think that if I were to just hook up with people, it's meaningless.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. It's like when you have too much to drink of alcohol, even though you Uber home, and you still feel absolutely crap. And that's one of the things too, is it's definitely changed the scene. And that's why you got to meet your spouse in the right area. And a lot of people in this hookup culture, they're not doing that. You're not going to find your spouse at those areas.
Exactly.
You're going to find your spouse. Yeah, you're going to find your spouse in maybe at school, maybe at work. Hey, maybe, and sometimes it's just random. Maybe you'll find her in the park.
Yeah.
On a nice summer day while you're having a picnic with yourself, eating a sandwich.
Yeah. But you have to go out and touch grass too, like that.
Yeah, exactly. I do agree with that. Or maybe you'll find her at the gym. Who knows?
Yeah.
Or maybe you'll find her at a sports game. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess sorry, go ahead.
The club is just there to have a good time.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think that I don't know how many permanent relationships kind of come out of the club, long-term marriages are born from the clubs of America. I don't think that's a common thing.
It's only common in the movies.
Yeah, oh yeah, the movies, yeah, sure. But we're not movie characters.
Yeah.
We're normal people. Even if you're watching me on YouTube, I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a movie character. I'm a real person that's just a normal dude.
I mean, my dad met my mother at a swimming pool.
Mm.
It's kind of a funny story too. When he was doing the swims, he accidentally clipped her in the face while he's doing swims.
Yo, what?
No, because he didn't see her there.
That's kind of that's an interesting way to meet a future spouse. I don't know if that's the route I want to go, but
yeah, me neither. But it's that was easy.
Yeah. Surprising.
Me, I'm just more you know what? I think that university is taking up too much of my time and energy for this.
Mm-hmm.
I think I should take care of that before I start thinking about meeting someone.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Again, if other people can find it, great.
Mm-hmm.
But the price to pay being a science major, you don't really got much time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that if I remember correctly, you had said, you were in a relationship when we had started messaging, and then you also later said that she kind of things had kind of started to unravel because of your work-life balance, and then she ended up just leaving at the end of the day. But even before that happened, a month or two before, and you were in my YouTube chat, you were like, if me and my girlfriend break up, I'm not going to look for another relationship off the jump because I need to get this degree. And I think, while there are whole things to that whole, to the breakup that I could get into that I don't really, I could if you want to, but I'm pretty sure that we disagree.
I think more from in my aspect looking at it, I think it was just me just working myself because I spent a lot of time away, and because I was working like about 80, 90 hours a week, doing a part-time job and university, and did drink a lot of Monster Energy too. I did about 10 cans in a week. Yeah.
That's pretty bad,
And
dude.
one of the things about that is I was doing really well in school and work, by the way, but it left time away. And again, the relationship was also kind of like semi-long distance too, so that didn't help. So right now I am kind of focusing on my schoolwork and stuff, but I'm not completely leaving the dating game out of the way. It's just more of
it's just not your focus.
well, I'm taking a break right now, but it's just more like, let's see what's out there, but make sure it's more local, because maybe that. But it's not like I'm not in no rush.
Yeah, I mean, and that makes sense, and that's kind of like exactly where I'm at right now, and that's not like a bad place to put yourself. Now, I would say that, like, you know, if you're you kind of have to know what your goals are. So kind of how, you know, a lot of people are very much like, you know, you make the money to get the, or like you get the job to make the money to get the house and get the car, or whatever, right? I think that, like, it is pretty materialistic, but like if you want to focus on like getting these particular, you know, hitting these particular like you know, bullets on like a to-do list or something, you also, when it comes to relationship, have to put yourself in a good position to where once the right person comes along, you're the right person for the person that you want to be with, right? So I think it's like great. I think the healthiest thing that you're doing and like the best thing out of like this whole conversation in your mindset right now is to kind of like be super I don't know, like, not like, I feel like if I use the word casual, people will take it like the wrong way, but I mean, you know, not being such a tryhard and trying to find somebody else really quickly just so that you're not single anymore. I think a lot of people do that. You have like people do like rebound relationships and all that stuff, which those are rarely those rarely have good outcomes.
I've seen it happen so many times, and it does not work. Let me tell you, like I've seen some of my friends do it. I'm like, bro, like give it a little bit of a break, man, and then come back to it maybe in like a couple months. Reevaluate in a couple months, man.
Yeah.
And like one of the things too is I was actually like just like more focusing, because I did look at my faults in it, because again, I'm not the type of person to blame another person. It's more like I saw where my faults were in it, and it's more evaluating based off of where I am currently and where my future, like near future, like within 6 months is holding for me, and what my goals are for those times. Yeah. And it's like, can I really fit a person in there? And I'm like, I think that the answer for now is no, but we'll maybe evaluate it as time moves along.
Yeah, like in I had to take some finance classes. I still have to take some finance classes. It's annoying, but like there's this whole concept of like a CBA, right? A cost benefit analysis. You have to figure out, hey, am I willing to give up this thing to get this thing? So like for you, your education is extremely valuable to you. So you're not going to sort of sacrifice that to maintain a relationship that's not serving that end. And so, you know, that makes sense. Just as long as you know what it is that, like, long-term you're going to want. So let's say that, like, long-term, like, let's say, like, long-term you know you want a relationship, but you also know, hey, I have these skills that can definitely get me, like, the position that I want. So if the realm that you want, I forget exactly what you want to do professionally, but if what you're trying to do is like a narrow field, then it certainly makes sense to like go push hard and do what needs to be done so that you're in the field before like time runs out or the timing gets knocked off where you like end up putting yourself behind and you're not able to like get into the profession that you want to be in. But if like there's something that you want to do that's like, you know, doesn't require like a lot to get into that realm, then it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to drop every single thing for this one thing if you know that like long term, you know, I'm gonna want to be in my career and in a relationship.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was evaluating, because I know that a science degree, a bachelor's in science is nowadays very useless.
Well, it depends on what the
Even
major
though
is.
it's biology and stuff, because the good ones are often in grad school. Like the good science jobs are often you're in master's courses or PhD courses, because that's where all the higher end jobs are. Fortunately for biotechnology, it's a new field, and because it's a new field, everything is lower and the pay is a lot higher. But come 10, 15 years down the line, I doubt the pay will be the same. It's probably going to be maybe cut 20% for new hires, because the demand will catch up, because like there's no one in that field right now. And there's a lot of hiring difficulties. So now they can pay up to like $70 an hour Canadian, by the way. So that's like a little bit less American.
Yeah, I forget how much.
It's like 70 cents American to make a Canadian dollar, I think. But I can make like about as much as a pharmacist, if not even more, in Canada on just a master's, and then 10, 15 years work, and then maybe go for a PhD then and be set.
Yeah, and that's fire, and it's nice to see that you're kind of you're in a sense that you're kind of getting what it is that you want. Like the big thing that you want is, you know, to get this degree so that you can get into the so that you can get into the field you want. And no matter whatever, like, you know, personal things might be going on, you're still hitting you know, the requirements that you need. At least as far as I understand, you're hitting the requirements that you need so that you can kind of get your degree. Now, the one thing that I am a little bit, and of course I'm sure everyone in the chat is expecting me to bring this up, the one thing that of course, you know, is concerning to at least most is how you've been saying in the chat, you kind of you sold your soul to the devil so that you could get this. And I thought it was interesting.
It kind of is like that.
I thought
it's kind of insane.
I thought it was interesting that you had said, like, I've sold my soul to the devil and everything's been better now. You know, all my bad luck has been turned around. Everything's been going perfect for me. But then kind of the breakup happens. So how are you processing like all of that? Are you still thinking that like rolling with Satan is like the way to go? Or maybe I'm not framing that question correctly, but kind of just like, how are you viewing that now? Do you have like any like regrets of kind of like selling your soul off?
I would say kind of like, but more like when you're telling about selling your soul, it's like you're working your tail end off, putting your heart and soul into the work. And it's kind of like how the work field is nowadays. At least in my country, it's in Canada, the job market's very corrupt. Like the small end jobs, if you want to get into them, well, they're wasting all those money on bribing the media, and they're saying like, "Oh, we can't find workers," even though these jobs can literally, like, the requirements to do these jobs is literally anybody with a pulse can do them. And they're saying to the media, "Oh, we can't find workers," while they're busy incinerating all the resumes and maybe only interviewing a couple people so they can get benefits. Benefits like worker shortage benefits. So they're in a way fabricating it. So on top of the requirements for everything and the cost of living and that, you gotta kind of do that or use a bit of nepotism if you know people, or like really work your tail end off, but which is in a sense the saying selling your soul to get to those jobs. So I'm basically selling my soul for the career.
Interesting.
In a way. And I mean my GPA is like 3.6 or something like that.
I mean, it's not terrible. Yeah. It's pretty good.
It's the science field. It's at to get into the masters, it's 3.3.
I mean, I would say from everyone that I know who's been in like a science degree, now granted, I only know a few of them and they've all done really well in their degrees, but that's I mean, I know some who have like higher GPAs, but that's I mean, that's pretty good for like most people that I know don't have GPAs much higher than that. But one thing, like, kind of walk me through the whole process. Like, was there like a process or a thing that you went through when you were like, okay, I'm gonna like sell my soul for this? What like went through your mind when you made a decision, and then how did you make that decision?
When I worked as a laborer over the summer, sorry for the audio cutout, but one of the things is that I decided, you know what, this is the time I got to shape up. I got to put everything into that basket and just shred right through and stop at nothing to get to where I need to be. Because I worked as a laborer over the summer, and it's pretty demanding physically in some aspects. I sprained my wrist and I was out for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Had this like big swell. It was like literally like stretchy skin at that point, and I didn't even notice it until someone pointed it out.
Were those calluses?
No, it was like literally right on the wrist, and I had to get physio and all that. It was covered by, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds.
It was
bad.
a sprained wrist, the doctor said.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was like, and I mean, the pay is good for university student, but it's not good, and especially because I want to live on my own, and everything's so bloody expensive. I was like, I want this paying job. I want a job that pays well.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to retire, because if I'm living paycheck to paycheck on everything, I'm going to be working until I stop breathing. And if I want to have a good retirement at some point, I got to step up so I don't do that.
Yeah. It's pretty much like a survival mentality.
Yeah. So I put myself in the survival mentality, and it gives me that fuel to push through. So in a way, that's kind of what selling your soul is.
Yeah. So it's like giving up everything for something.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was no... So you didn't
I just bring it up as like an edgy story kind of to make it seem cooler.
Oh, okay, I think. Okay.
Yeah. I because like I'm known for being a storyteller, and I'm definitely known for edgier videos and stuff, so it kind of falls in line with the humor. But
yeah,
although it is true that I did work at a haunted house as an actor for horror stuff, but
that's pretty cool.
So I mean, it was like a haunted house that is a seasonal one. It's a fun job. Yeah, the management's awesome, by the way. There too. It's like a good university pay, because like all I have to do is work on nights for the weekends, so I can study in the day, sleep a little bit, then work, and bam.
Nice. That's cool. So there wasn't. So you didn't offer up like a burnt offering to Baal, or do anything like that. It was just more, you kind of were you just like kind of basically dedicated yourself to do it. You didn't sell your soul. But it's like it makes it sound like all like spooky and exciting and chat, right?
Yeah, I want stuff to sound more exciting than, because I mean, come on, it gets people more excited and more talking about it.
I had like so many streams where I think where that whole thing was brought up, and you like very much went into it. But here's the thing, right? It's like, and one big reason I wanted to push back on it while on stream, and also one reason why I wanted to bring it up in here, is because especially like, and I'm gonna say, right, like as a Christian, I'm a Christian. I don't want especially on like this platform, to like glorify selling your soul, even if there's been a lot of theological debate about whether or not selling your soul is something you can actually do. Setting aside all of that, I don't want to glamorize anything about the devil or anything about Satan or selling your soul to Satan or anything like along those lines. And you were kind of like saying like in the chat, like, oh, like God left me, but then when I sold my soul to the devil, everything was Gucci, bro. And I'm like, I don't want
the first half is true, though.
And I'm like, that's not the message that I want to send to my viewers. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the first half is kind of true, at least in my felt, because I felt that like God just wasn't there when I needed him most, like no support. That's what I felt like. So that's why when I say that, it's kind of just because I felt like that. Like he wasn't there when I needed him most for some aspects, but it's like, yeah, I was just like, and I just had enough. And I said, okay, I'm up left, became agnostic. So yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like if you can find peace with him, great. Something I couldn't do.
Yeah.
And that's all I say.
Yeah,
it's like you found peace with him, good.
Yeah, and I think to be fair, I think what was your conception of God while you were like believing in him?
I think it was like he was like a father figure. He was like always supportive, there for you when you needed him, kind of like that.
But what is
like
that?
He didn't give you everything on a silver platter, like but he gave you stuff to survive and all that stuff.
But when you say like is like there for you, what does that mean to you?
Like emotionally there, spiritually there, person who gives advice when you really need it. So not in the sense of when I think I really need it. It's like when I actually really need it.
Yeah. So like essentially like this is someone who can give you comfort, like ultimate comfort.
Yeah.
Someone who can give you like make you like feel like not like alone and give you everything that you need in order to survive.
Yes.
Because I think God does promise to be a comforter. But
he wasn't for me, unfortunately.
Yeah. And don't
know why, but
yeah, that's
it is
pretty,
what it is.
Yeah, and that certainly stinks. But I mean, he promises to be a comforter, but he doesn't promise that we'll always feel good or be happy. And he doesn't. I think there are some cases too where Christians go without things that they need. Like one thing I've told multiple people before is like, you know, I'm pretty sure that like Christians have like starved to death before, but that doesn't mean that like God wasn't with them. But I say all that to say that like I think your picture of God's like a little bit off, kind of from what like the promises like of God are. And so I think if you like this image that you had of God, right? If that, you know, deity is not one that you're following anymore, I think that does leave room for you to accept like God who he is like in his like who God like actually is as like prescribed in the Bible, if that makes sense. Because it doesn't sound like you have like this like as like some have said like Pez dispenser mentality of God, where he just like gives you everything that you want. But it does sound like you were expecting some things out of him, particularly like emotional support that God does give you a lot of the time, but not 100% of the time. And actually didn't always even give you know, there were times when Jesus wept multiple times in the scriptures, and he certainly didn't feel great. He didn't feel great before going on the cross. And I know that you really like me talking about, you know, religion or whatever on my streams, but I just kind of like all in to say that like it's not like there isn't room for, you know, Christ to come back into your life. I think in large part because you may the God that you were appealing to may not have been like the actual image of Christ and how he actually operates.
I mean, I did renounce it back in like 2021 in that summer.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. I hope that like, you know, God is someone who like comes into your life like long term once you kind of and he shows himself to you and like in his fullness. That would be awesome. But it's not something that I can like make you like I can like make that happen. But I'm just saying that I hope that does happen.
Well, if it does, then maybe I'll consider coming back to the boy band.
The boy band. Yo, that would be dope. Like, we would be happy to have you for sure.
Yeah, but that has to happen first. It's like if he can do that, then he'll start to earn my trust.
Yeah, that's fair.
Trust takes time, but maybe I'll consider committing more if he does. If he does.
Yeah, I was confused at first when you said that committing. I was like, committing crimes? Like, what?
No. No, like committing to God.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna commit crimes. Yeah, I'm gonna commit premarital hand-holding right now.
Oh no!
Yeah. Or I'm gonna completely annihilate this hockey team in a video game by scoring like 20 goals on them.
Oh no, that's so terrible.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna put a box over my head and call it Santa Claus.
What? That's new. I don't think I've heard of that happening. Let's see. So we have. Let's see. There's some things that I did want to react to. We have 71% of the votes in the Georgia Senate race, so I wanted to cover that. But before I let you go, Kanye West has really been in the news a lot. And I know I've been talking about him a lot on my streams. So I'm kind of interested to see like kind of what you think about like Kanye West, his current statements, especially since I've reacted to his whole InfoWars interview. There are more clips I plan on like reacting to later, but kind of especially in light of that, I don't know if that was something you were able to catch.
Hard to do that, especially with finals week, but I have heard some of the things he said, and I'm like, dude, it's been all over the place.
Yeah.
Like he'll go from like one side to like the other. Like he's the pure definition of 0 to 100.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and he made some dope songs too back like in the day.
Yeah.
He's made some really dope songs, but he's just been, I don't know. I think he definitely needs to get evaluated or something like that. Because like ever since he left Kim K, he's been off his rocker.
Yeah. And I think I'm gonna be. I think I don't know if it's 100% related to what I had said. I think part of this is like particularly the Donda 2 rollout and like everything between the breakup and Donda 2 coming out. I think was kind of related to this. His whole like gospel prosperity gospel mentality, which is like, oh yeah, God's gonna bring me and Kim back together. It's nice to see him kind of. I think over time he's kind of moved closer to embracing more actual truths of the gospel. So for example, like I think during the InfoWars interview, he was like, yeah, Kim can just like go meet somebody else and marry him. But it's just good for my
pissy when Pete Davidson tried hooking up with her.
Well, I mean, time has passed. I think he's processed some of that, to be honest. I think just over time, the gradual drift of over the past 3 weeks, he's repeatedly kind of said like things have happened to me. Like things have kind of been going downhill in a sense in certain aspects for me because I've been like sinful against God. And so I think it's nice for him to like accept that, hey, there have been some things that I've been doing that are wrong. And I think it's pretty clear that he's kind of been off of the meds kind of in this throughout this time, which is kind of interesting because I think it's led to some like more unhinged moments, like the Netanyahu moment.
Yeah,
but
actually, I think speaking of that, because when I was watching that video with Andrew Tate and Aiden Ross, I think it was because like Aiden Ross told Andrew Tate that that he was jacking off, and that's why and Andrew Tate's like, that's why he lost her.
Oh,
God's always watching.
Oh,
I think he said that. I unless I've had a complete Mandela effect, but I could have sworn. And one of those things, he was like, that's what topic came up, and then Andrew Tate's like, that's why he lost.
I don't think he said that explicitly, but maybe that's what he was alluding to when he said you failed God, because I wasn't sure what he meant by that. I thought he was just talking about slacking off and being lazy, but there could have been more subtext there and more.
Adin Ross was talking about stroking the lizard, for better terms.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, I didn't know that.
I could have, unless it was like edited or something. I could have sworn, because you know all those clips things.
I don't think it was edited, but it was a clip, so it could have been referenced like later on in the stream or before in the stream that just wasn't in the clip that he posted.
Yeah, and again, it's like, and then he's like, yeah, and that's why, because God's always watching.
Yeah. Now, you know, biblically, it's not a 1-to-1 ratio of like sin to bad thing happening in life, because there was the whole case, you know, when Jesus ran into that one blind dude, and then the Pharisees were like, tell us Jesus, what sin did his parents do that caused like this guy to be blind? And then he was like, it wasn't a sin. Just because something bad happens doesn't mean that, you know, there was like a sin involved. But God does have like some natural consequences to some things that happen. Now,
could have been a build-up.
Yeah, now I think that Kanye probably has like a lot of things that he needs to work through, like kind of like mentally. I don't think that he is 100% insane. I think that there are just like some things that he's like refusing to address or deal with, which is kind of causing him to be in the state. Because if you look at this interview, like let's look at the interview with TMZ, right? He was a lot more sane in that interview, you know, despite the Netanyahu stuff. He was a lot more sane then than he was if you looked at his interview with TMZ, when I think he was like pretty drugged up.
Didn't Kanye West kind of say he was, or at some point say he was bipolar?
He did. He said that during the TMZ interview, actually.
Yeah, because I've read that bipolar, what it does is you'll have these episodes where you're in what they call like a hyper euphoric or manic state, where like you're all high up and giddy, and then you'll have like a period where you're just really down, or like a low period. That's why they call it bipolar. And it's like, and it's random and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So could it be on those things? I don't know.
Yeah.
And again, I just heard, I don't know how accurate it is. I just know you just have highs and lows in like 0 to 100, and something can trigger it, but sometimes it's just random. and that's, but it's like extreme highs and lows. It's not like the normal highs and lows. It goes from like I said, 0 to 100.
Yeah, and I know a bit about mental health, but I know like bipolar disorder is one thing I really don't know like a whole lot about, if I'm going to be honest. So I guess that may be why it'd be harder for me to pick up like the cues, because there are certain cues about things like like ADHD and autism, which I mean, granted, I don't know a whole lot about autism, but I do know like some things about it.
I have those things, so like
like
no, I actually do, by the way. So.
I actually didn't even know that. Like I got an ADHD brain over here, but I don't have like autism. But there's some things about like both of those where like I can kind of like pick up some of the signs. So I don't know as much about bipolar disorder, so I can't like pick up those signs.
Me neither.
In I can't pick up those signs in Kanye West. Like I actually spent a fair bit of time with someone who I'm pretty sure he's still bipolar, and I didn't even like know or like recognize any of those signs. Maybe he was masking pretty well or whatever. But I think it's actually good for Kanye to be off of the drugs, because there's some things that I think he probably needs to work through that he's not gonna work through as like efficiently, I don't think, or completely, if he was like on drugs, if that makes sense. Now, of course, I'm sure like it you know different drugs have different effects, but I think in general, I don't think one would naturally expect him to completely like work through everything if he's like drugged up with like 5 different drugs, like his trainer was threatening to like do to him. Like I think that like you should like process everything first before trying to jump into drugs. And so like if he's like process stuff, but then like there's nothing else that he can do, then yeah, I think that like moving on to drugs might be the next.
Has he considered therapy?
I don't know. I think that he's not. Actually, don't know that he's ever been. I wouldn't be shocked if it would do him some good.
I mean, it could do good if you have the right therapist that is trained in that. If you're willing to pay the money, and it's not saying, and Kanye, money isn't a problem for him.
Yeah, he still has 400 million.
Yeah,
Right?
like therapy's like hundreds of bucks an hour.
Yeah.
Kanye makes that back in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I've done the math. I can't afford it, but he can.
Yeah, me neither. We can't afford it. Well, I guess our mental health will suffer, or as John Oliver said, we could just have it over a beer. Which, I mean,
I don't know. I mean,
Jordan Peterson did say that it does. I mean, Jordan Peterson did say that alcohol does help, but like the problem is that when like you stop, and it also has a lot of harmful effects. Jordan Peterson's kind of like in that psychology mind type thing.
Yeah.
And he said, he mentioned it, but it's like he said, if alcohol had none of the bad effects and just had the effects that help, it would be great at helping with anxieties and stuff like that. But because of all the bad effects, don't do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. But I mean, if therapy is so expensive and beer is cheaper in comparison,
look, would you blame me for not wanting to take drug advice from Jordan Peterson?
Me neither.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
we wouldn't blame him. I mean, he didn't condone it. He didn't condone, but he was like saying that it could be, but there's too much other bad things. And
well, I mean, not that he's wrong, but I mean, you know everything that happened with him and the drugs and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that was a very, very tragic story.
Yeah, I think he's from the same province I live in, or he was born there.
Oh, that's right, because he's Canadian too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got exiled out of Canada. Imagine getting exiled out of the Texas of Canada, which is where we live in.
Yikes. I mean, he should actually come to the States, though.
I think he is.
Okay. I mean, I could see why he wouldn't. I think that I think he loves his country.
No, he said that he had too much common sense to be a politician.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, we got, like I said, our prime minister is sniffing farts and being lazy all the time. So
wait, who, Trudeau?
Yeah, Trudeau.
What do you mean? He was hard at work doing the television performance at that drag show. What do you mean?
I saw that. I'm like, really? And why does Toronto love him again? Because that's how he got in. It's like there's 50 ridings in just Toronto, and all of them voted Liberal. I'm like, time to spread some anti-Trudeau propaganda in Toronto.
Oof. Yikes.
Say Trudeau is Canada's destroyer, with him building a Death Star and having a Darth Vader helmet on his head.
I mean,
with the lightsaber, and then it's like high interest rate, and the Death Star has the words high interest rates, homelessness increase, cost of living increase.
I mean, you're not wrong, because actually, if you look at Star Wars, now I'm doing another like tropey IDW era comparison of Star Wars to politics. But if you do look at Star Wars, the big thing that you see in like the difference between the Sith and the Jedi is the Sith were always authoritarian and relied on corruption, and the Jedi, at least to my knowledge, from what I understand, never did. I think that does like kind of show like a pseudo propagandistic / highly unrealistic image of how a two-party system works in politics, because in reality you see a lot of corruption on both ends, and at least in America you just see a mad dash to power from, again, people on both sides.
Corruption's everywhere.
But I think it's interesting that it shows like a blueprint. Star Wars actually does show a blueprint of an example of what an oppressive state looks like. Like, I think it's really funny. There's so many Democrats who are Star Wars fans, but then they'll vote for like the types of policies that like the Sith would be like implementing in the Senate. And I think that like it's like hilarious.
Senate.
Right. Like, yeah. And I could even I'm not even gonna bring like, you know, abortion into it, but
path to many abilities, some consider it to be unnatural.
I had no idea that I was gonna bring up Star Wars. And actually I should probably go ahead and let you go.
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to have you on, and it was like a great reminder. Like, hey, let's just have you on now. Earlier.
I had the time because I was taking a break from studying. I've been grinding for days. Yeah, I'll rejoin the stream again.
Awesome.
All right, well, I'll see you around.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, man.
Thanks, you too.
All right, that was awesome. That was Mike. Mike, if you're not familiar with him, he is in the chat a lot. He's in the Discord, and you can be in the Discord too if you click the link below. Dude's actually got a YouTube channel. I think he makes like YTPs and stuff. He goes by official Mike if you want to check out his stuff. Oh, here's his channel. It's got like posting videos of like YTPs and stuff. Oh, I guess ISM reacted to his YTP. That's pretty cool. But yeah, one really big reason why I wanted to pull back to the news coverage is that this is about as close as you can get when you're talking about too close to call. It's right now it's 50-50 both ends. It's not literally tied. We have Herschel Walker winning by, what is that? Maybe like 100, a few hundred votes. So it's very, very close. And it's looking less certain. I was actually expecting to kind of get some sort of indication of who would win earlier on. Again, I don't know which trends are being followed here. But I do, I don't know. I don't know who to expect. Chat, make a guess here, chat. Is Herschel Walker going to win or Raphael Warnock? Because right now it's 50-50. It's a dead heat. So I'm not 100% sure what to expect. Again, I think if Herschel Walker's going to win, he's gonna max out at like 51-52% of the vote. I don't think he can get more than that just because of the scandals that have been happening. He's given no one any reason to vote for him. I don't think. He's given no one a reason to switch to his side would be a better way to put it. So I'm keeping an eye on that. We have 76 reporting, and I'm gonna do a couple other reactions. React to one thing that I've had queued up here, and then one thing that's over in the Discord. If you want to submit things for me to react to, go ahead and click the link in the description below, and I'll get to those. I'm going to start my Discord recap tonight. But yes, as news breaks over there, I'll be covering that. But for now, I do want to get into some clips from the Kanye West and Gavin McInnes interview. Again, I'm not going to play the whole thing because back when because when Hasanabi basically did the same thing, he reacted to the whole interview, he got banned from Twitch through DMCA strike. So I'm not going to react to this whole thing. There are two clips that both amount to 15 minutes I'm going to react to. Let's see. Censor TV is an interesting thing. I'm kind of surprised
how sexy that woman is with her hair up at the bar. She's so sexy, though. She might be nuts. She has this like vibe. Welcome.
By the way, if you're not familiar with Gavin McInnes, get used to him making comments like this.
Welcome to the first episode of Saving Ye, where I am going to prevent Ye West from becoming an anti-Semite or
what
a
airport
Nazi.
is he at? It looks like an interesting
talk him
airport.
off the ledge and bring him back to the understanding that our problem is liberal elites of all races. Kamala Harris is a major problem. Barack Obama is a major. Barack Obama is what started this whole mess, I would argue. We weren't really into racism before he came along. So I want to go.
That's so not true. We had Joe Biden before him. We had Jim Crow, which actually Joe Biden supported. We have, I think he supported that, right? We had so many. We had so many racists before Obama. I don't think Obama is America's first racist, but I get what he's saying. I mean, in modern politics, I guess he's saying over the past 25 years. I kind of get that.
Over there and say, anti-Semitism is a rut.
I sometimes this beard is so bad. Isn't that bad though? I will say it's like low quality. He's kind of got like this like neo Colonel Sanders thing going.
Yes, they're overrepresented in media. They're overrepresented in banking and obviously Hollywood. No one denies that. But to sort of focus on this militia intent is a rut. It's the same when black people are like, fucking whites ruined everything. I could never be successful because white people will be racist. That's an intellectual divot. It's an intellectual ditch. So I'm going to try to pull him out of the ditch.
Interesting. Yeah, because he's making a good point that a lot of stuff that Kanye West has been saying is the same racially charged identitarianism that you see in the left and the Democratic Party a lot nowadays. That's just really harmful because it pits people against each other. Hey, black people, white people are your enemy. Fight! Like, no, stop. let's not do that.
Let's focus on the elites, on the Bill Gates, on the Kamala Harris, on the Barack Obama. And not go down the Jew road because it's a dead end.
It is.
Let's hope it works.
Hey. Also, no matter how many arguments you hear, this is one thing. If you ever get pulled into the Jewish question, is what it's called. If you ever get pulled into the anti-Semitic vortex, always look out for one thing. If you're talking to anti-Semites who are potentially changing your mind, ask them this one question because they will not be able to answer this question. What is the proof that these people being Jewish has something to do with all these bad things that they do? Because the most that an anti-Semitic person will be able to establish is that a lot of people who are in the very specific powerful positions are Jewish. That's the majority. That's like the most that they'll be able to say and to demonstrate. But beyond that, they can't prove that they're doing it because they're Jewish. They can't prove that there's a Jewish cabal. They can't prove that just because someone is Jewish that there's some sort of like strange Zionist agenda. I mean, the image of this fictional mirage of an image of Zion that they've conjured up in their minds, you can kind of see some of that taking form in like what like the World Economic Forum puts out, for example. But they put that out because they want to, not because it's like some sort of like Jewish thing. It's just like, different people have a different agenda. A certain political, leaning or perspective will lead you to agreeing with the World Economic Forum. So it's not about, being Jewish at all.
Y'all sleeping on me, good snooze. Wake up, nigga, wake up. We about to get this paper.
So we're just rolling up to the interview with Gay.
So Mike Tyson looks like a business villain. He actually looks like a notorious something, doesn't he? Have you ever watched any clips from his show? He has a show called like Get Off My Lawn, where he I don't know. He talks about like different like random like different things. Shoot, there was one Gavin McInnes Clips channel that I think I was subscribed to at one point, but I stopped watching it because it just wasn't the highest quality content, if I'm being honest. But it's like more of an example of kind of what he looks like on a show. Anyways, it's kind of a rabbit trail. Sorry. I'm unlocking myself. Hold on. Okay.
So we're just rolling up to the interview with Gay. We've got a secured location. Not nervous because I just had a Bloody Mary. It's So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try to sell him the Jews. Say, come on, JP Morgan.
Selling him the Jews is such like an interesting turn of phrase there.
Morgan, you know, Wells Fargo.
Get off my lawn sounds like something boomers say to annoying kids. That's literally the point, I think, of what it is. He's just kind of like, he's kind of a boomer. He's almost old enough to be a boomer. And he's just kind of telling the kids to like stop being woke snowflakes, I guess.
Citibank, all run by Irishmen. Yeah, Goldman Sachs is run by a Jew, but, you know, JP Morgan Chase is run by a Greek. And, yes, they are disproportionately representing these groups. I've already talked about it a million times. I'm just sort of going over it in my head. But
look, if I'm going to be honest, unless you're subscribing to cognitive dissonance, or unless you're like okay with having cognitive dissonance and just like not being logical at all, if you're going to be the type of person who says Jews must be these power hungry people because you see a lot of them in these positions of power. If you're gonna put that thought out there, then you also have to be willing to say, you know, black people they're all just like poor. Just because black people are disproportionately poor. I think it's pretty obvious why that's problematic. And you have to subscribe to both views at the same time, because if you're just looking at just like the generalities of how things kind of like have shit. Even then, now that I think about it, it doesn't make sense, because the vast majority of Jews aren't in powerful positions. What? It doesn't make any sense.
They're a tenacious bunch. They are successful whites. I think Jews are doing well because they're just whites that don't drink. If I didn't drink, I'd be president by now. So my goal here,
Bruce Lana said this before. If you live life God's ways, things will be better for you.
here is just to get him out of what I fear, well, he's in, which is the rut of anti-Semitism, where if it rains on your birthday, it's the Jews.
It is a rut.
You know, we see this with blacks in the hood going, whites are preventing me from doing anything. I could go to school and get a PhD in accounting. I'd never have a job because of racism. So it's a crippling mentality.
True.
And it's not
the economy being poor couldn't have anything to do with it.
To have a blame group. And Jews have done a lot of good things for all movements, including like racial realism. Anyway, it's a tall order, and
Mr. Michael said, how was my interview? Oh, the interview was fire. Honestly, I think the interview was probably the best part of the stream. I think it's all downhill from here, if I'm going to be honest. Like, that was great. That was great.
He might shut me down, but you got to try, right? You got to try. All right, shall we start?
Oh, boy. Now, I think there's... Oh, boy. Nick Fuentes. I forgot he was going to be here. As a matter of fact, the Censor.tv website said he was a moderator, which is big oof on that one. But one thing that's going to be nice about this is that he's not going to be nervous at all, because he's not going to lose any portion of his audience to this. Alex Jones actually had surprisingly a lot to lose, because he is syndicated on terrestrial television. So, I mean, terrestrial radio. So, you know, he could lose terrestrial broadcasters, but he also, I believe, live streams on Twitch a lot of the time. Not all the time, but he's actually not banned. Alex Jones actually isn't banned on Twitch, so he streams on Twitch sometimes. So we could have lost that audience as well. This guy, he runs Censored.tv. He posts and streams everything on Censored.tv, so he has nothing to lose. It's like Nick Fuentes going live on Cozy.tv. Nothing to lose. So there's going to be a lot more, I think, honest conversation here. And if you want to see the whole thing, of course, subscribe to Censored.tv. If you want to check that out. I don't know if they have like a pay-per-view thing where you could pay $50 to see the whole thing. I wish there was, but there's a subscription model in there. I don't know if you feel like paying for it, but it's there if you want to see the whole thing. Or click the link in my Discord, because I have a link to a YouTube upload of the whole interview. If you want to see the whole thing.
Yay.
The editing on this.
Nick.
This feels like this feels like immature-ish, like editing. Not immature-ish, but very simplistic editing that you'd see in like classic YouTube.
We're here. So this is Saturday afternoon, 2 days.
Ew! What's up with the cartoon effect on this? Why did they make this like look like so janky? They look like they have him in a holding cell of an authoritarian nation state. What did they do to this man? And where are they? What is this place?
Days after the InfoWars interview, and I was just telling you before we started filming that we were watching it at home, and Ryan and I were just looking at each other. About every 20 minutes, we'd look at each other and just go, like, this is a big deal. This was an event. And I think that there's a spectrum of reactions, of course, and the biggest reaction, the most positive one, is it's the craziest, most punk rock thing since the Sex Pistols got kicked off the Bill Grundy show. But on the other end of the spectrum, people are saying this is bad for a presidential campaign, to say the least. Where do you stand on that spectrum?
I think it's awesome for a presidential campaign.
Yeah,
to have someone
it's not
honest, that understands.
It's
the
not
state
great
of
for
the
presidential
world.
campaign. And kind of looking at his look here, Isom said that looks so gross. I don't know if it's entirely gross. I think it is a step down for Kanye West. Usually, for every single like appearance he makes, Ye puts out like a special outfit. I think it's kind of interesting. He's picked largely the same fit. Looks like he changed his shirt, but not his jacket, not his mask. That's interesting to me.
And that's ready to listen to what the American people need.
But Hitler's got a pretty bad reputation.
Well, who made that reputation?
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Come on, bro.
By Jewish people.
Well, the murdering
Well, I think that
Jews was a pretty big part of his bad reputation.
Yeah, but
also, you know, pro tip, if you're planning a genocide, expect to get a bad reputation from the people group that you're murdering. Like, would you be shocked, right, that, like, Jews don't like Hitler when Hitler killed quite a few Jews, if I remember correctly? Like, would you not be surprised that Jews do not like them? And are they wrong for not liking him? I would argue that it's fair to dislike Hitler, but that's just me. Oh, hold on. Sorry. I accidentally skipped ahead. My bad.
20 minutes, we look at each other and just go,
this is the new Ye. He doesn't show his face anymore.
Deal.
It's true.
This was an event. And I think that there's a spectrum of reactions, of course, and the biggest reaction, the most positive one, is it's the craziest, most punk rock thing since the Sex Pistols got kicked off the Bill Grundy show. But on the other end of the spectrum, people are saying this is bad for a presidential campaign, to say the least. Where do you stand on that spectrum?
I think it's awesome for a presidential campaign.
Yeah?
To have someone that's honest, that understands the state of the world, and that's ready to listen to what the American people need.
But Hitler's got a pretty bad reputation.
Well, who made that reputation? That was made by Jewish people.
Well, the murdering Jews was a pretty big part of his bad reputation.
Yeah, but some of it's incorrect. Also, the Holocaust is not the only Holocaust.
Okay, like what? Like what about it was incorrect? Also, the Holocaust is not the only Holocaust. That's true. I mean, in America, we have abortions currently. There was the Rwanda genocide. There was the Armenian genocide. You have what China's doing to the Uyghurs right now. There are a lot of genocides, current and past. But that doesn't diminish anything that the Nazis did. Like, we can still say the Nazis are pretty bad, while acknowledging the real world current and other genocides that have occurred. Right?
So for them to take that and claim we have abortion right now, that's eugenics, that's
exactly.
genocide. That's a Holocaust that we're dealing with right now. So because Jewish people control the majority of the media, along with banks, along with real estate, along with malls, they can control the narrative. Like, history is written by the winners. They were upset that Hitler was kicking them out of the country. By the time, the Holocaust, there's only 250,000 Jews left.
Oh, really diving into it here.
I mean, yeah, let's get into real information at this point. You know, what did they think were going to happen? Matter of fact, it's like, I think the Jews are like really, I think the Jewish like Mossad and Rahm Emanuel and Bibi Netanyahu and all of them, I think they really got soft out here. Like, I'm getting to walk around and say the truth out loud. You know, oh no, they got him dropping headphones over here. But yeah, you know, Jesus is king. Really, you know, I just lean into what Christ needs me to do, and I'm 1,000% faithful as I can be as a man, and I repent for the things where I fall short. But the only way for us to bring America back to where it needs to be, this is a Christian country, and it needs to be ran by Christian leaders that don't bow to Jared Kushner, that don't bow to Rahm Emanuel. You already know.
Man, I was about to give him something there. I was like, is he bait and switching everyone so that he can talk about God more? Because every time that like people have asked him like about like the Jewish question or whatever, he's pivoted towards talking about God and how great God is and how much more the nation needs him. But no, he kind of has this whole like God versus the Jews mentality, which if you think about it long enough and you know enough about scripture and kind of how God rolled with the Jews, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Oh, DeSantis is a fake conservative. We don't even know who the Democrats are going to put up. And yeah, that's my answer to that.
Okay, here, I'm going to have an intervention here for you and Nick. And let me just make a case.
You know, not going to lie, Nick needs it more.
Yes, there are almost 80 to 90% of Hollywood is Jewish, probably more. Media, yeah, I'm going to say like 80% of media is Jewish. But I see the Jews we're talking about in these cases as liberal elites, high IQ people, whites. And when you have, like, they're disproportionately represented in medicine too, because they have high IQs. So the problem isn't these Jews, and most of them are secular Jews, atheists. I don't see Soros as Jewish. So we have these secular, mostly atheist Jewish people with high IQs who dominate fields that tend to...
That's a good point, that they're mostly atheists. I actually bet that you probably see higher rates of atheism among people who are high in power than rates of Jews who are in higher powers. Interesting thing to put a point out there.
To require high IQs. They're overrepresented in chess and mathematics too. So the real issue here, and there is an ethnomasochism, there is some sort of like, let's burn it to the ground. But I think that trait is a white trait, a liberal elite white trait. Oh, not even white per se, a liberal elite trait.
Yeah,
Kamala
like,
Harris, Barack Obama, they also have these traits.
How you gonna talk against racism and then you're gonna be like, oh, but that's a white thing.
Trait. Oh, not even white per se, a liberal elite trait. Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, they also have these traits. And there's some sort of like
Fuentes is nodding his head because he is kind of speaking facts here.
DNA in white people where when they reach a certain amount of success, they just want to take it off a cliff. And I don't like when Jews get pulled into that, because when I think of my Orthodox Jewish friends and even my Hasidic friends, these people are conservative, Trump-supporting, you know, American patriots. And the Jews that are getting lumped in with this sort of ethnomasochistic cultural suicide tend not really to be Jewish. I call them ginos, Jews in name only. It's liberal elite whites you should have a beef with.
Yeah, but I lump them all in together. That's what I did.
Why? Okay, that's good.
That's why the tweet said that, Jewish people.
You shouldn't lump them all together.
But this trait, like, you know, blacks are overrepresented in violent crime. But when you meet an individual black person, you don't apply that. You start with a fresh slate.
I like how he paused after saying black, because it's hard to tell if he's like genuinely racist, but he also said some racist things, and his nomenclature is certainly dated. He says, he doesn't say like black people very often. He generally says like blacks or black. So you hear him stutter there as he remembers to add the word people after black.
But when you meet an individual black person, you don't apply that. You start with a fresh slate every time you meet someone. Do you do that with Jews?
Nope.
Ooh. I mean, they're laughing, but it's actually really bad. That's really bad. Imagine like if you did that with black people, right?
Mention isn't going very well.
Yeah, but I like how he because he's on his own platform, and because I feel like for whatever reason he's very chill. He does not seem very pressured. Feels like he has the freedom to be like, yo, this isn't going well. You know, this is pretty bad what you just said, which Alex Jones didn't have the balls to do.
I mean, when I talk to like Ron, I've noticed that Jews are a tenacious bunch, and they're great for every movement, especially the conservative movement. Who's helping me sue the SPLC? Ron Coleman. Who's helping me sue Rutherford for shutting down my talk, or Penn State for shutting down my talk? John Gross, Rabbi John Gross. I don't know, they tend to get the system, and maybe it's because they've been ostracized from the system for so long. They're good at hustling.
They complicated the system. They put it in Yiddish.
What?
Every business needs a hipster, a hacker, and a hustler. We're good hipsters in that we're creative. The hackers and the hustlers, that's like the tech guys. Asians tend to dominate the hacker part, the tech part. Hustlers, salesmen, guys who can set it up, they tend to be Jewish, and they would be an integral part of your campaign.
See, stereotypes exist for a reason.
Sure, I'm fine with stereotypes.
I'm sure we'll get a lot of Jew votes, but the only thing about there is it's actually not a lot of Jew votes, because there's actually not a lot of Jews in America. You know, there's 5 million Jews in America. We have, you know, if you include the illegal aliens, there's 400 million Americans. There's how many potential voters are there in America? 300 million potential voters, 260 million.
Interesting. Interesting. Hold on. I'm trying to find, because I know that Alex Jones did put out a response to the whole Kanye West situation where he kind of did put him on blast, and I was thinking about reacting to that. I don't think I have time to cover it today anyways, and I think it doesn't really, maybe it doesn't matter too much. But here's the next clip from the interview, and this is the last clip I'm going to play from this interview because, yeah, I'll probably get distracted if I reacted to anymore. I will throw out another update, though. In the Georgia Senate runoff race, Herschel Walker has now taken the lead by 0.1%, with 84% of the votes in. We have 16% left to go, which is estimated to be at around 550,000. So it looks like actually a fair amount of most of these counties are reporting, except for Dodge County. So once Dodge County comes in, I guess we may have the results. But that's kind of where we stand right now. Just wanted to give you guys that update.
Mental health, like me wearing a mask, gives me this ability to not have to worry about showing my face, so I can think about what I'm saying and I can channel. When you load up a picture of Michael Jordan, he's smiling, he's jumping from the free throw line, he's got his shirt off. When you load up a picture of Phil Knight, you can't even see him. He's got his hat low. You know, he's jogging 10 steps ahead of his wife. I've actually seen him do this before. When I saw that in real life, I was like, oh, that explains my issue with Nike. And then then Phil Knight goes and supports a conservative Republican on purpose as a, how do you say F you in Christian? As a,
screw up?
As a slight to Nike, right? And then he goes and says, he comes back to say, oh, Kyrie, you took it far. Shut the hell up, Phil Knight. Nobody cares. No one's exploited the culture more than Phil Knight and Nike. Nike is not even a progressive, prosperous organization anymore. Nike is what is the opposite of prosperity? Disparity. This is a disparaging organization. Nike is used to gerrymander because black people like Nike. So Nike writes BLM on the side. Nike gets LeBron.
Ooh, so he's calling out Nike for pandering to black customers by championing causes that they don't support. It's an interesting point. But if you looked at some of the people who run Nike, I'm pretty sure that a lot of them have given money to BLM or Vote Blue, which BLM is basically a front for Vote Blue, which is like a Democratic fundraising organization. But I am pretty sure that there are lots of folks who run Nike who gave money to either Democratic Party, Vote Blue, or BLM, which are all kind of the same thing. So I don't know if he's 100% true there or right there. Like, I think that they are much bigger fans of the Democratic Party than they are of Black Lives. Otherwise, I mean, hey, they're pro-choice. So
I want to say whatever he's paid to say, right? In order to control the black votes and to keep the black votes inside of a 90% net that we vote as a block. And we're so used to the pain. You start with the sugar, then you take the fathers out the home, then you put the sex trafficking strip clubs.
Separated? That's how you spell separated.
Then you put the alcohol, the Hennessy, all in that. And then if you have someone, you say, look, over here, you're not going to get any of that, but you're going to get freedom and prosperity. No one knows what that tastes like. People know what pain tastes like. They know what the Hennessy tastes like. They know what not having a dad there tastes like. They know what mom having in the DR, moms, people have to go into prostitution a lot of times. So they know what that tastes like. So people, the devil, they trust the devil they know versus the one that they don't know. And right now you got a thing for me as a black man that was separated from my dad.
Now you spell separated.
And my mom was a liberal, and she went to a state school called Chicago State. And they gave her a job there, and put us on the south side of Chicago on 79th Street. My experience, right, has brought me to be the richest, black man of all time, a multi-billionaire. And the people at Adidas, they wouldn't even take meetings with me, and I was 68% of their online sales and brought Adidas back. And then when I was in the Kardashian family, I had no say-so on where we had Christmas. There was only one time that I even got to design the Christmas party. Or when I had the meeting with Trump, it was all about how I could help him with the black vote. So I see as a black person, we could talk about race. Yeah, race. The whole world's racist. We get it. But it's more that black is looked at as like a vehicle. It's like a Mercedes-Benz. It's like if someone has a bunch of cars, this is the way politics works. It's like someone has an SUV. Well, that's the 70% white America. That's my family car, right? But then they got this motorcycle over here that maybe they need to ride on the weekends. That's the black vote. And nobody better steal their motorcycle. Oh, Ye's wearing a red hat. He's trying to steal our motorcycle. We need to keep our motorcycle right here in this one place in case I want to drive the black vote.
So this is a very unnecessary analogy, but he's kind of right because Democratic Party, and I think a lot of political parties as well, but Democratic Party, especially, I think the GOP kind of views people as monoliths as well, but the Democratic Party sort of views black people as their property, right? It's like the black vote belongs to us. How dare black people vote for Republicans, right? I mean, if you vote for Joe Biden, are you even black? Last time I checked. But you know what I mean?
Into where we want to drive it. And I have this cousin, a lot of people in my family, and this is the reason why I don't ever show up to no family reunions. A lot of people in my family are like cops. They're literally police agents, went to war and all this stuff. So my dad is always trying to put me on the phone with cousins and family members I never heard of. And right when they get to texting a lot of stuff, I'm like, look at this woke dude. And I tell him, I put the woke to sleep. Let me save all that woke conversation for me, because that woke conversation is just rehashing black misery and complaints with no solutions.
Yep.
We're inventors here.
Yep.
I gave.
By the way, well, no, I'm not gonna get into that.
I gave a bit of the perspective right now, but what I'd like is, and what I praise God for is, we are beings with engineering opportunities. There's a lot of culture that we got to just clean that up.
I can see why so many people on the right want to talk him off the ledge, because other than when it comes to the Jews, he's actually 100% right. There are a lot of cultural things that are really damaging the black community. And he's kind of right to kind of go off about those things. But when it comes to the cause of the issue, And that's when he, and rightfully so, that's when he starts to lose mainstream, left and right, and just loses a lot of people. And I think it's unfortunate that he's kind of chosen to go through this path, and I hope he swerves off of it pretty quickly. Because otherwise, if he moves off the anti-Semitism, he would be an incredibly powerful voice in politics. But we'll see. Anyways, I want to get to this video before I wrap things up. Unfortunately, this is going to be the last video that I'll be able to take a look at before ending the stream tonight. So, Mr. Pizza put out a video called "I Hate the YTP Community." And this comes after I did my own video called "I Hate YTPs." Kind of interested in seeing kind of what he has to say here.
I hate the YTP community.
Oh, well, I guess that solves it. Well, peace out, y'all. No, I'm just messing. I'm just messing around. Okay. I'm sorry, that was too easy. Okay, let's take it from the top now. Okay.
I hate the YTP community. That's right, folks. You heard it right. I hate the YTP community, and I'm gonna get into this.
This is fair. As much as I dislike YTPs, I think there's probably more to hate about the YTP community than YTPs themselves.
This video, I will say first and foremost that I'm not ending YTP reactions on this channel just yet. There are still some really good creators out there like CS188 that I still do want to react to, so I'm not ending YTP reactions just yet. But instead, I am, however, going to trash the community right now because I want to get this off my chest because this is something that I've wanted to talk about for a really long time now. So
also, I hope that this video reaches a lot of people. They're nice. There are a lot of comments here, and I love that. There are a lot of toxic aspects to the YTP community, and more people need to be making videos about this because there's just so much that just somehow goes unchecked. And I think people just need to draw more attention to it. I think people try to ignore it, or it gets drowned out by the literal YTPs that are posted.
First and foremost, I think the biggest problem with the YTP community is it's so toxic. It's crazy to think that an underground community on YouTube where you take videos and you edit them into your own style is super toxic. I know, it's crazy to think, but the YTP community is one of the most toxic communities on YouTube. It's just awful. There is always endless stupid drama going around.
Yep.
I mean, you've had the drama with CWB, with Mohawk Aurora, with HV Engines and Coaches, all this like drama, and it all came from the YTP community. It's just awful. You also have people in the community like the Worst Franklin or the Incel Franklin or Best Franklin, whatever you want to call him.
What?
You have people like him in the community who are just complete and utter assholes, and they're just overall pieces of shit that don't care about anything else other than their own YTPs, because, you know, YTP is their entire humor and everything else. It's just so pathetic. Another reason why I hate the community is because from time to time, you know, you get people like Christopher Wayne Bass that come into the community. For those unaware, you know, CWB, Christopher Wayne Bass.
I think that makes sense because I think there are a disproportionate amount of young people within the YTP community. So of course you're gonna see pedophiles go into spaces designed or largely populated by kids, which is why you see a lot of pedophiles on Discord, because there are a lot of kids who use Discord. So I think it completely makes sense. It's not just a YTP community issue, it's a pedophile issue. I don't think you can blame the kids for hanging out with each other. Like, that's like saying because creepy dudes lurk by the park, that park community is a problem. You know what I mean?
Registered sex offender from Houston, Texas. He was a contributing member to the YTP community. So yeah, you get sex offenders that come into the YTP community. It's just awful. How people like that even find the community is bad, and then, you know, they make it even worse. Then you get these horrible people like Mohawk Aurora, who are actually worse than CWB, stealing from underage content creators, not asking consent to be to have these people featured in their videos, you name it. Guy's a piece of shit, and he's one of the biggest names in the YTP community, and it's just awful to see. And another reason why I hate the YTP community is, again, as I kind of mentioned, people in the YTP community that, I mean, mainly people that watch YTP reactions, that's their humor. That's all they care about. They don't care about anything else the creator puts out. They only really...
I feel like you're kind of flaming yourself. No. I think, it certainly can be the case. I don't think it's 100% the case all the time. Like, there are plenty of people who enjoy YTPs, but YTPs aren't 100% of their humor. I actually, my roommate sophomore year was a huge fan of YTPs for a very short period of time, but he had a vast sense of humor that like expands like throughout just like beyond, just YTPs.
Care about YTP reactions, and it sucks. So there you go. Those are just some reasons right there why I hate the community as a whole. Now I just kind of want to talk about how I want to slowly but surely leave the community, but like still kind of be there, but just not really. So first off, I want to really switch up the content. I am actually getting sick and tired of reacting to YTPs.
Yeah, making the same type of content over and over. It's an easy way to get burnt out.
It's getting frustrating. It's getting upsetting. It's making me question myself on YouTube. It's making me not want to do YouTube anymore. It's getting that bad to the point because I feel forced into reacting to YTPs all the time because the sad reality is if I'm not talking about Daniel Lord, YTPs are the only other things that get views on this channel. It's just so sad, and I don't like feeling forced into doing something I don't want to do. My motivation for YouTube has severely dropped because of this community. Over these years, my motivation has gotten worse and worse. And I think, like I said, the primary reason is the YTP community. It's just not fun anymore. I just don't find
for real. Like, I'm gonna be honest, when it comes to like the Discords and things, you guys probably know, for the past month and a half, 2 months or so, I've kind of checked out. And it's not that a big part of it is that I've just been like busier, and I found that like, being super active on like 5, 6, 7 very active Discords are like, that's like almost impossible for me to do as like an adult who has a full-time job, streams, and has other hobbies. On top of all of that, it's pretty impossible for me to keep up with everything. But on top of that, it's like the toxicity. The last like 5, 6, 7 times, like I've checked the Discord, it's always been drama. Now, granted, it's nothing that you guys have been doing. You guys have not really been creating drama. You've been following it because it's in your community, so that completely makes sense. But you haven't been like creating drama and being dramatic people. It's just something that's in the YTP community, so it's just there and constant. Like, I checked my smartwatch once during church this week, and I see a message about drama, and I'm like, what? I'm trying to have like a nice time worshiping with the believers who go to my church and stuff. Like, it's the definition of a peaceful. Not a peaceful. It's the opposite of a peaceful. It's the definition of a stressful community, and it doesn't really make it fun to be a part of, I would imagine.
Enjoyment reacting to YTPs anymore. I mean, sure, from time to time, I can give a really good reaction to a YTP if I don't know what to expect, but that's very rare. Other than that, I feel like my reactions to YTPs have just been getting more and more stale over the years, and I've tried taking breaks from them and then coming back, and nothing seems to really help. And so that's why I really want to take a different direction for the channel. Like I said, I will still do YTP reactions occasionally because there are still creators that I enjoy, but I really want to focus on other content that I want to do. There's other video ideas that I have that I really want to put into action. I really want to do because I have a lot more fun, a lot more enjoyment doing that. I feel like once I release this video, once I like take a big break from the YTP community in general and move on to what I enjoy recording, what I enjoy uploading, I think I will have a lot more fun. Because like I said, my motivation has been down in the dumps for a while now. And other reasons why I'm probably just not feeling motivated as much anymore, let's just be honest, guys, YTPs are getting pretty stale. With YTP, it's the same stuff every single time.
Guys! Y'all blamed me for this, but I was right the whole time. No, I've talked about this. How all of the jokes in the YTPs are the same. It's all pee pee poo poo. Curse word. Haha, humor. No. It gets very annoying, and then it just becomes like a whole fest to see how controversial you can be. And it's like it's the exact opposite of what humor is. Humor is like trying to be clever and catch people off guard. But then at that point, once your whole sense of humor is just fueled by edginess, then the only way you can shock your audience is just by saying like ridiculous, outlandish, and edgy stuff, which is not the way to go and leads you to dark roads. And I've talked about this in a previous video before.
Back in the early days of YTPs, it was all the same memes, spadinner, and there was nothing new to it, essentially. What? And now, in modern YTP times, most of it relies off swearing, sex jokes, racist jokes, pedo jokes, 9/11 jokes, etc. Yes. Which in some cases, swearing and sex jokes are still funny to me.
This dude has been saying what I've been thinking for like the past 3 months, and it's nice to see him kind of come around to this. This brand of comedy is not particularly clever, super clever. The editing, I think, is the most clever part about it, and I will always respect the editors, the YTP editors, because that's very hard to do. But at the end of the day, like, it's just not super funny.
Obviously, I still find them funny, but in YTPs and stuff, it's just getting really, really stale, and they all feel the same now. I don't feel like I'm going to be producing many good reactions to YTPs, stuff like that. They might be saying, well, you're trash.
And that's why I stopped doing live YTP reactions, mostly because I knew it wasn't even me not enjoying them wasn't even the biggest thing about it, but also I knew that it wouldn't make for good content because my reactions wouldn't be good. So it's like, I'm not gonna do a reaction to a meme or something that's supposed to be funny if the whole time I'm just gonna be like this. Ha, that was funny. So
the community right now, you're saying why you hate it. Why are you still going to occasionally do YTP reactions? Well, again, like I mentioned, there are creators I still want to react to. Like, you got people like Flying Kitty, CS188, Starfishy, Collins YTPs, and stuff like that. I want to still be able to react to these people's YTPs from time to time. And there's even some people like David Studio, Original Dosu, and some other people that actually make YTPs of me, and I want to still be able to actually react to those, because I find that me reacting to YTPs of myself not only does it do well on the channel, but it gives me good reactions.
Honestly, if you ever end up pivoting beyond YTPs, I think in general, I think you can always react to YTPs of yourself, because it still will be like branded towards you. Like, imagine you become a commentary channel, but you still but people are still making YTPs of you and you react to those, then I think you might even still be able to appeal to that YTP audience without feeding into the crazy community that is the YTP community.
Which makes sense. I mean, it's about me. Of course it's going to be funny. So, yeah, I just wanted to get this off my chest. At the end of the day, yes, I do hate this community a lot. And I'm sorry, if I'm offending anybody, but I seriously do hate this community. And I hope to one day be ridded from this community. Because let's be honest, if I want to keep doing YouTube 10 years from now, I don't want to be stuck in this same community. By that point, I would be completely moved on. And yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Peace.
Hey, yo, that was fire, dude. That was great. There's so many points there that I've been making for a long time. And to the point where I feel like there isn't too much more that I need to add, just because I've been saying this for a long time. But I think the big thing is people need to pick up what he's saying. I hope people receive what he's saying well, and then push this message forward, because that toxicity, YTPs can exist for as long as they want to. I don't have to like YTPs, but the toxicity certainly needs to end. And you know, maybe it would take a little bit more than I would like in order for YTPs, the YTP community, to not be toxic anymore. Whatever it is, you know, that needs to happen. I think the last resort is honestly going to have to be people in the YTP community speaking out against the toxicity specifically. If the toxicity can go away, then the YTP will definitely be in a much healthier place. And who knows, maybe the YTP community would actually be thriving instead of surviving like it is at the moment. But in any case, I have to sign off. I will leave you guys with AR-15 by 717NA and Little Limbo. This track is fire. Thanks for tuning in, you guys, and thanks everyone for participating in the chat. I enjoyed having you all in the chat today. Peace out, y'all.
You talk to me, boy, dance. Tell me where you wanna put a bright
Wow, Eli, that was so hard. That was crazy. That was so cool. Please make more. Yeah. 717 and 8.